when it comes to reading the Bible. The first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Shalawam, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm getting dark. I've been out there grinding all day long. Let me turn this off. Shalawam, everybody. Shalawam. Make sure no one's going to be hitting me up. Sometimes I'll be forgetting that phone on silent. I don't be meaning to miss no one calls after I turn it off for times like this. Elder Action, Barakatah. Hey, I am a man of action. I'm not going to lie about that. I don't want to, let me turn my little fan on. I don't want to take that from myself. Let me plug my fan. 1 second. I've been grinding all day. Plug this fan here. Give me 1 second. Make sure we good. My nice little quiet fan. 1 second, y'all. There we go. We good. Black man got to stay cool. Yes, indeed. How is everybody doing? Good to see everyone. Now, tonight we're going to talk about a few things here. Can I get that to comb my beard? My beard, yeah. I lean behind. I got to keep this thing fresh. Hold up, yeah. You gotta have your. That's what I need to keep me fresh. Thank you. How's everybody doing? I got on my brother Malak's shirt. My eyes are my protectors. Deacon Malak, you already see that's the eyes. Yeah. So that's what we got. That's what we have on tonight. Ahaya and Yeshaya. That is the Most High, His Father, and our Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. How y'all doing? But listen, man, I have been working since 7 in the garden. Came straight into the show. So I know you see that I've been grinding, and it's crazy because we already had a plan to come into the show tonight talking about preparation. We have not talked about gardening because it was winter time, and many people have been asking about gardening, and I said that I would go into some stuff, and this is not going to be the only show. I want to bring some people on when they're not busy. I want to see what they've been doing in their garden, right? So if you all want to send some videos in, or just tag me on Instagram or something, or whatever the case may be, or send me a little small video to my email. Now don't just send me a little pot of 1 kale or a little cactus plant that you bought from Home Depot. Nah, you got to come better than that. You can't eat that. Come on with it. I want to see a garden. You have to show and prove. So tonight we're going to give the beginners a little skills tonight. Not only for myself, we're gonna show some videos. The Bye Bye is my jam. You play it daily. Yeah, the Bye Bye song by Elder Rawchaa is amazing. Shot by my little brother, Deacon Malak, Elder Rawchaa, working together with him on that. All praises be to the Most High. Beautiful song of family. Beautiful song of family. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to play a song really quick before we go in, just to warm it up. It's called The Hour of Temptation, because that's where we are. So we are prepping. We are prepping our minds. We're prepping our loved ones. We're prepping our food, our shelter, our raiment. And if you're not tonight, you're going to learn why you should do that. And guess what? How you should do a few things just to start it. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and play that because it's very similar to the topic tonight. I know everyone's getting ready for Passover. Our New Year's is coming. You'll understand this week, and I'm happy about that because we're going into spring. So we have to be talking about what are you going to be putting in that ground, because back in the days as Israelites, we were putting things in the grounds to get ready to offer the first fruits unto the Most High. But now we are the first fruits unto the Most High. Yeah? Yes, indeed. All praises. So let me go ahead. Make sure you guys hit the like button as you come in. Make sure if you're coming in that you're not distracting anyone. I don't mind people commenting in the chat, but as long as we're not all over the place. You know? Yeah. All right. So let me go ahead and play that beautiful Hour of Temptation by my brother Kassadawar. All right, Hour of Temptation, featuring Lion and King. Fair use.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Oh yeah, who said that? Who said no teaching in the chat? Akdawada Benjamite. Thank you for saying that. No teaching in the chat. We have too many side teachers. We good on that. Nothing. No one's saying you're never going to be a teacher, but follow the ranks and come into the order to be a teacher. Thank you for putting that out there, brother. We do not need any more side teachers, any more side Israelites. We have to come and learn. Please. You may have your time one day if it be the Most High's will. All right? Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Now this is revelation. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. I pray our highest say, the Bible said out us, man. Let's get it. Temptations coming, gon' fill up my cup. Feeling weak, gon' hit my line, knocking, I pull up. 2 or 3, ride in his name, and you know what's up. Demons flee when they hear the name. That's enough, it bring me peace. I'm not worried about so-and-so, I'm straight, itching ears. People die daily without knowing truth is engineered. Tell them store rations, famines coming, and the end is near. You gon' die as prophesied, they tell you not to mention fear. Players come and roll up your sleeves and take one of these. Seen the purge, never mind, you can see it in the streets. Get your passport, cause your ops coming. You need you a man, girlfriend, the cops not coming. Revelations been revealed, no longer with G.O.C.C. Hit the bank with a mask on and make a withdrawal. It's the new Babylon, baby, everything is legal. Change your name and your zip code and your chromosomes. Yeah, that's martial law, call him Jack Boo. Come to ink your heart on your sleeve like a tattoo. If you don't cooperate, you ain't see us on no street corners prophesying, telling you it might pop off the day. Pray the Most High, keep a hedge around me. High time we gotta sleep, this what the prophets wanna see. See my own family turn their back on me. Enemies screaming peace when we know what that means. Whoa, we in the hour of temptation. This is revelation, baby. We in the hour of temptation. And this is revelation. Time flies, it's getting real about a minute. The righteous will remain, you'll be taken if you sinning. The evils will increase, this is only the beginning. As in the days of Noah, he's coming for a remnant, as it was written.
The most I sending plagues on this earth as before. Even the people you love the most, the Bible said they turn to foe. Protect your family, keep them close. Resident evil creeping close. Still sleep, you don't want to see. If you woke, then you gon' know when it be time to go. Ain't finna be stopping, no. The enemy watching close, but the most I got is though. Better get your mind right, this all happened before. Remember Lot's wife and Noah, it's right at the door. The end is near, it's real. You got that still, but it won't matter unless you seal with the Holy Spirit, and that's for real. I'm just keeping it 144, yeah, your soul on the line. I just wanna put it on your mind. Now's the time to draw the line. I don't speak with riddles, it's left or right, no middle. Or you wanna be hot and cold, you don't wanna be turned to spittle. You block your blessings trying to live your life just like the wicked. You tripping, they time is ending while I was beginning. Yeah, it's written, the opposition, man, we on the mission. Repentance, you ain't forgiven if you ain't forgiven. You get it? Don't spend your life living in competition. If it ain't by Christ up in your life, then you must keep your distance. Yeah, Yeshaya, my king, Ahaya, my papa, Rawchaa, my mama. Not all that power, nada can stop us. We good, endure this fighting as always. No stress, stay blessed and get your mind right. Get your mind right, get your mind right, get your mind right.
We in the hour of temptation. This is revelation, baby. We in the hour of temptation. And this is revelation. Time flies, it's getting real about a minute. The righteous will remain, you'll be taken if you sinning. The evils will increase, this is only the beginning. As in the days of Noah, he's coming for a remnant in his white linen.
It's about damn time, it's consummation of times. We judging Optimus Prime. Your cousin dropping the dime, so you in the coat. Unlike that folk, Christ said all hell about to begin. Before we crack, I'm warming up and sitting on chairs just like a hen. Before the cock crow, they gon' knock down dogs. No Pimp C, Lil Kiki, Cyclops like Skull. See the beam in your eye, I can spot that mold. Plus the vengeance of the Lord, plus Christ might hold. Ready to insert, they medical mercs. They ready to purge, then pedal the hearse. They prophesying for the profit, but the people sign with no profit. See, I'ma tell like lobsters, you a shrimp, scampi, imposter. But the hope when you run, no eyes are cold. Blow the trumpet because some might not know. It's set like a diamond. We resting 1,000. That 7 is climbing. We on heavenly timing. Better get in shape if you can't run from a dog. A higher was on, you know, we roaming the woods like a hog. Decomposing their motors like them other parts to be under a law. We can see in the fog. We the chosen, unfolding a hopeless media fraud. Wizard of Oz, take heed to the call.
And not obey the voice of my teachers. That means during the whole process, the teachers were given instruction. And we decided during the most prominent time in this earth, the most prophetic time in this earth, after all the works we put forth, after all the love we showed towards the Most High prior, we decided at the very last hour not to listen. He set up teachers to instruct the people. And anyone claiming that they're not following teachers and they just led by the Spirit and read the Bible by themselves, guess who's in the house with you? Guess who your teacher is? The devil. Satan is your teacher. The Most High has an order in heaven and on earth. And it behooves every one of the people within this earth, with total humility, to find that teacher and give them double honor, or you'll be out there by yourself. And guess what, brothers and sisters? No one can contend against this hour of temptation by themselves. No one.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. My brothers. My brothers. My brothers. All praises be to the Most High. All praises be to the Most High. Had to get that in there. Had to get that in there. Yes, indeed. Man. Let me tell you. I performed that song on I try to stay behind the scenes, and sometimes every now and then we'll do a little performance, maybe for one of the feast days or something. And boy, did the kids know all the words. All of the kids knew all of the words. They were like the biggest fans. It was just hilarious. It was just a beautiful thing. You know, they was like, you better get in shape if you can't run from a dog. It was just hilarious, man. But all praises be to the Most High. Beautiful track. Thank you for the feature, brother Kassadawar. You understand. You guys keep doing your thing, right? Keep doing your thing. We are in the hour of temptation and transitioning into the hour of temptation even more, where you better be careful what you do, what moves you make, how you walk. You don't know what you're going to catch out here. You don't know if you're going to catch a parasite. You can catch a parasite any type of way, shaking somebody's hands, touching a pet, walking on the ground barefoot, but let alone when it comes to the 2020 arm shot. That's what I'm going to say. The 2020 slingshot. You have to be careful out there. You might want to go pick you up a honey or two, and let me tell you, you come back with the Beelzebubs. You come back with the Beezle Sneezelbubs. So I would tell you right now, you better be careful. You better be careful. If anybody, you laying with somebody who took the juice, you gonna come back with the beetle juice. Huh? You coming back with the beetle juice. Parasites and the Hydra vulgaris beetle juice. I'm just telling you, so you better be careful out there. I mean, I wish I could say it another way, but the reality is that's the truth. Some people out there is so silly. I'm going to use protection. Man, come on now. Come on, stop playing. You better read this Bible and listen to what your God telling you. I know we got some people simple as a day is old thinking that too. Your God is watching everything. He can, let me tell you, the creation, the trees can see what you're doing, the rocks. You don't believe me? Stop it. Let me read Joshua, just real quick. Joshua chapter 24 and 25. Yeah, somebody called me. I'm on the show. Joshua 24 and 25. So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day and set them a statute and ordinance in Shechem. And Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of God and took a great stone and set it up there under the oak that was by the sanctuary of the Lord. And Joshua said, check this out. Behold, this stone shall be a witness unto us, for it had heard all the words of the Lord which he spake unto us. It shall be therefore a witness unto you, lest ye deny your God. Oh, you know we sharp out here, huh? You know we sharp with that word, right? Let me tell you, the trees. Let me tell you, the manifestation. All creation is just waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. All of creation is a witness to our sinful acts and our good acts as well. So you can't hide from anybody. You got that. Hey, you like, yeah, open that window. Got a nice tree right there. Yeah, that tree is watching your sins. Huh? And you know what the rock represents? It represents Christ. He made all of these things. He spiritually coded everything, and you only see what you think you see. But just like the internet, he understands if it was HTML code behind. You see the nice, beautiful surface of the internet. But you're not a coder, so you don't understand the coding, the HTML, and all the other things that it takes for you to see the surface of the internet. And that's how it is when it comes to the creation. The Most High, Yeshua, and the Holy Spirit, and the angels can actually see the unseen and how everything works. Right? So we don't want to actually lie to ourselves. You're only fooling yourself. You ain't fooling the Most High. That's the whole point about it. I'm not going to go on a rant though. I'm just saying we're in that time. But since we're in that time, let me ask people a question. Who is prepping for this time? Who is actually prepared if there was an actual shutdown as much as possible? Maybe you're still getting some things together, but who feels like, hey, if it shuts down, you know, for a few weeks or a few months, you will be ready? Let me see. Say con. Don't tell me no con just because I can't see what you got in your pantry. I want you to be honest. Don't forget, you might got some rocks or some plants in your house that's no you lying. They're rocking that plant sitting up in there. Now you just a damn lie. Yeah. That's what they telling you. Okay. Well, we're gonna take a few calls tonight. We're gonna take a few calls tonight. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you was honest. She said no, Elder. Well, it's time to get on your game. It's all good. At least you was honest. At least you were honest. Praise the Most High that you were honest and, got seeds to plant. Well, you need to know that you need to plant those seeds at the right time. That's why I'm rushing. That's why I'm rushing to put a lot of things in the ground. I'm behind a little bit. I'm still ahead, but I'm still behind on some things in my zone. You have to also know your zone and not just put some plants in the ground. So we're going to talk about that tonight. They said mostly. Okay, so I see a lot of people. I need a generator. Okay, get you some little solar generators as well. I got like a little solar generator, but I plan on getting like a lot more of them and some other things. I got some other gas generators and stuff like that too, but the solar generators, I love them. I'm not gonna lie to you. Quiet. Okay, Con, that's why I look to you in Humble Servants Homestead. Yeah, Humble Servants Homestead, they be putting the work in. I wanted to try to get them on the show today, but maybe they were busy. Yeah, they do a lot of good work in that garden. There you go. Yeah, you can find these generators and stuff with good prices. You go to the pawn shop, if you have a place called Harbor Freight, man, they sell things for way cheaper. Now, I'm not going to say every product from there is good, but you can get some good deals in some, in some of these Harbor Freights. A solar for phone as well. Solar battery for phone as well. Okay. Solar charger, you mean? Been trying to stock, but stuff come up and end up using a lot of what I stocked up. So listen, that's Jabria. And I want you guys to understand something. Don't throw your things away. A lot of the expiration dates, now this is just my opinion. A lot of the expiration dates, I watched a few things on this, a few studies on this. That stuff can last way longer. So a lot of you, how they say you got to cycle out. Some things have to get cycled out, obviously. But a lot of things like canned goods, they can last way, 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 way longer. So, hey, and plus, I'd rather be like The Walking Dead. I'd rather have something than nothing. This stuff is old. But hey, we eat the old stuff first. There you go. I'm just saying. Because if it gets that bad, you have more than enough. Okay, and you have places where you have things like your local stores where they actually give free food out, and you can go and get you some. If your budget is low, you can go get you some of this food, and you can stock some of that stuff up because they're just giving it away. If not, they're gonna put it in the garbage. Okay, you can't be too shy when you know you need something there. Just bought a small filtration unit. Yeah, there you go. Get you guys a sump pump because let me tell you, if you got your little solar generator and you got water in a pond or a creek somewhere, now you might want to have a filter and some water purification tablets or something. But you could take that water out to water your garden. If you have to filter it to shower with, it's different things that you can do. A little sump pump, you plug that thing into your little solar battery and it will pull water. So we have to start thinking like this. Get you a long enough water hose or some PVC pipe with the water hose attachment and start thinking about different things you may have to do. And don't buy them cheap water hoses. Just invest in the good water hoses. Now, if you have to get the cheap ones, okay. But if it gets very hot in your area, you want something that can last for a long time. Now, why are we talking about this tonight? Because we know that Scripture tells us, let us read it really quick. We know that Scripture tells us in Proverbs 20, let me see. 1 second here. Is it 27? Proverbs 27 and 12. I'm going to read that really quick with you guys. Give me one moment. All right. Proverbs 26 and 12 says what? Shalawam, Elder Dale. Thank you for that, my brother. Proverbs, and we're not going to be on too long tonight, guys. We're going to take a few calls. Proverbs 27 and 12 says, a prudent man foreseeth evil, the evil. So we can see, those of us who are wise, we are seeing the evil come. Okay? And what do? We stay out the way. It says, a prudent man, which is a wise man or woman, foreseeth the evil. We are seeing the media and the news, regardless if it's propaganda or not. If it's real or if it's propaganda, the prophecies must be fulfilled. Right? And yeah, Kayam, you could tell me that when you call in. You know, I want to hear some of the things that people are doing and some of their little tips. A prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. One, hiding yourself from, for instance, staying out of the way. You're saving your food and your water, your non-perishable items, your lady items or whatever the case. They got cups for ladies and all of that. I mean, I hate to be so, but hey, if you got to fight for tissue, you don't want to be fighting for tissue. Some of you might need to install a bidet on your toilet so you don't have to go in there and fight for tissue. You can now use less tissue because you got water that, you know, cleans you out or whatever the case may be. Okay? Because you don't want to be fighting for gas. You don't want to be fighting for tissue. And obviously, coming to America, I'm surprised that America is not even using bidets like that. That's an ancient technology. Do you guys know that? And I'm gonna get with Elder to see if he can show this in the academy. He showed me when I first got to the truth, and a lot of us, how the Egyptians had bidets. I'm talking about years back, and they had our faces on their bidets. They had our faces on their slippers. They would walk on the slippers, and our faces, like the Hebrews slaves were on their slippers as if they're walking on us. We were on their bidets and all type of stuff. I'm gonna have to get with Elder to see if he can show that in the academy. Powerful. You're talking about almost 15, 16 years ago I saw this. Okay, but anyway, I digress on that. Get you something where you're not fighting for tissue like bidets. Be careful for some of these wipes because they have chemicals in some of these wipes that can harm you. Okay, so you better off getting some paper towels, spraying that thing with some water because what they're putting in some of these wipes is crazy. So we have to outthink. We have to think out of the box. Excuse me. Yeah, get you a sump pump. Because a sump pump is going to pull that water. If you need to pull water from one place to another, there you go. And I will try to have a little filter to go along with that. Okay, and extra filters. So it's just different things that you can do. Sump pump, I would get a nice, nothing too expensive because I've bought the expensive ones. Same thing as the regular sump pumps from the normal Ace Hardware. Same thing. Trust me, I spent like $200 more on one, and I'm like, this thing does the same thing as a $40 one. Are you kidding me? So a sump pump is when there's water, and you just put it in, you connect the water hose to it, and you put that thing in there, and then it will run wherever you want it to run. Right? So if you got a rainwater container, you can use a sump pump because it's low powered. Now, if you try to ahead of time, if you have the finances, you can install a little solar pump either on your water well, if you already have one, or they got these big containers, and you got a solar panel connected to a proper water pump that can now pump into your house if the electricity goes off. Check that out. Okay, so it's just different things that we can do. Because we don't want to be, once again, like the scripture says, a prudent man foreseeth evil, verse 12. We already see the evil. We see the insurrections that the Bible talks about. In every city there shall be an insurrection. They shall be like madmen, throwing them out of their houses. The immigrants, the so-called army and martial law, eventually, this stuff will eventually happen to our people. We want to stay out of the cities. We want to stay out of the way. We want to stay out of the inner cities where we know things can possibly happen. If you're in Chicago, you should already know all of the bad spots that you don't want to be in. If you're in California, you should already know the hot spots. If you're in New York, you should already know. If you're in Houston, Dallas, you should already know the hot spots. You should know, I need to not be in those spots. You should know if it's a shutdown, an EMP, whatever the case may be. Hey, we're in some times where, you know, if you have someone who's close to you and they shut things down, let me just say this. If you watch Colony, they just dropped like the artificial intelligence in the so-called fallen angel AI technology. They dropped a wall separating whoever was on this side had to stay on that side. Whoever was on this side of the city had to stay on that side. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but we have to start thinking like this. We have to start, hey, when you're driving, hey, if something happens, you got you something to start a fire in that car. You got you a little emergency pack already in that car. A little bag, little fire starter, little knife, whatever the case may be, to protect yourself and to cut things in case you can't even make it back home. You have to start thinking like that. You have to start thinking like this. All right? There's a couple Colony movies and shows. I'm talking about the show that they end up taking off. Yeah, not the Lawrence Fishburne, but that's a good one too. The Lawrence Fishburne, it was like the zombie type joint. Yeah. So, but I'm talking about the show Colony. They end up taking it off because it started getting too deep. And one of the brothers, the black brother who ended up playing, he ended up dying or whatever. Yeah. Seen a lot of work crews working on these electrical grids. Seems like they know what's up. They may or they may not. Sometimes these people are just workers. They will not tell them the plan. It's no different in masonry. Only the people at the top probably going to know what's going on. But if they're smart, they may know. But, you know. So these are the things that we have to think. Stay out of the way. Hide yourself. Meaning, when I say hide yourself, stay out of the way of trouble. If you know there's some type of riot or some type of thing where people are going to protest, hide yourself from that. Stay away from that. Don't tempt the Most High by putting yourself into these type of positions. You see there's some type of, like when we were overseas and during the time of the Arab Spring, we try to tell people, listen, don't go where they're protesting. Why would you want to do that? You know, some people, you know, they got in the midst of tear gas and all that. So, you know, we have to be very careful and very wise. You have to let things die down and kind of go back to normal so you can operate, right? So if you have enough food and water, you don't have to run to the gas station. You don't have to run and fight with the people at the store like this is Black Friday or something like that, okay? And you want to save some things that you actually likes to eat. Some things that you actually like to eat. Don't just save beans and rice. Or you're gonna be going crazy, looking like you want to go hurt somebody and take the stuff they got. Cause you finna have a boring meal. If you got only beans and rice and you don't have any canned meat or something to flavor them beans, I don't know how y'all do it where y'all from, but I'm from Louisiana where some of the best cooking is, and that's undeniable. Why? Because when I travel the world, They don't have anything from other places like Arkansas or this place. No, you're going to see Louisiana hot sauce in Egypt. So it's not even an argument. Okay? We have to have something in them beans to season them, to flavor them. And I'm not just talking about, we're not using no artificial flavoring over here. If you need MSG to flavor your food, you need to go back to school. Or if you need a Maggie pack, I'm sorry, you can't cook. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You can't cook if you need an artificial flavoring to flavor your food. If you need the gravy, it's okay. Hey, I know it gives extra flavor, and you may be able to cook, but you don't actually need that. You don't actually have to use that, is what I'm saying. There's a way to actually flavor your food. That's cheating. That ain't no different than using auto-tune. I'm just telling you the truth. So, but anyway, I said all that to say, that's my opinion though. I just like some flavor in my beans. So if I'm going to have some beans and rice, I need to make sure, what do I have with that beans and rice to actually flavor the beans? My wife know, my daughters know, please don't ever bring me no bland beans. It's not going down. I'm gonna look at that like a dog. What is that? Heck no. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't ever bring me no bland beans unless it's the Book of Eli. Straight out. So it must have some type of meat to flavor that thing. So I don't know how the vegans doing it. Good Lord. That thing tastes like straight air. There's only so much herbs you can put in that thing. You gotta develop the taste buds for it. I can't personally do it, but anyway, all jokes aside, you need to have what you need for you. If you know, and I know, I'm gonna say this. In the end of the world, you can't be too picky and get the most expensive stuff the whole time. We don't eat candy, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't eat, red dye, yellow, and all of this stuff. But if you got to get you some ramen noodles in the end times, if you have to get you some stuff just to pass by, some Skittles or whatever, candy just to pass by, if it's all out war, you're going to be looking at that Snickers and them Skittles like, I'll take it. Trust me when I tell you that. Listen. Because why? It's some things that the body can actually get rid of itself. Now, I'm not saying you should do that, but if you got kids, the kids can go crazy if you're just feeding them beans and rice only, just because you can take it. So get what you can get now. And if you can't afford all of this expensive stuff, you may have to get some of these type of things. I'm just telling you the truth. You may have to get some of these type of things. But if you train your children to not want that stuff now, maybe they won't want for it. But I'm telling you, it's like a last resort type of situation where you're like, you know what? I got some little candies. It's been hard. We've been in here a long time. Maybe this will cheer them up. It's wisdom. Maybe you're going to have the runs a little bit, but hey, you're going to make it through. I'm just saying, because you don't eat it all the time. So that's where, make sure you have your supplements that you need. Make sure you have a lot. So you always want to have more than enough things. Some of y'all look, y'all probably don't even know. I got the same amount right there. Okay? I'm going to just drop this stuff down. So you got to keep you more than enough stuff in case it's a shutdown. You have what you need, something for your immune system. You got your herbs. You see what I'm saying? You have everything that you need. Because if the scripture just said, if you foresee it, the evil, and you're still playing cheap, when it shuts down, only thing that's going to hunt you is, I should have got this. I should have got that. Hey, it's too late for that. Too late for that. Stay on your discipline, your diligence, and your game. I sure do have me a mother load supplements. Y'all thought I was just selling them to y'all. Y'all ain't right. They ain't right. Look. Got the female enhancement for the white. Oh, we ain't playing no. Listen, in case it's shut down, you got to stay ready to keep from getting ready. You got to stay. I take every single supplement I have. Every single one. Every single one. And some of them have their uses for when I need them. Like magnesium. If I need magnesium, I take it. Like at night if my muscles are too tired. So I just, you have to be on your game. Prepare. Okay? You have some people who thinks that, I'm just going to be able to get some gas for the generator. You may not. You go just like The Walking Dead. Every time The Walking Dead came on, what happened? Somebody didn't come back. So what is the Bible saying? A prudent man foresee the evil and hideth himself. Stay out of harm's way. I don't care how many guns you shoot. If you want to be a crash dummy, be my guest. You should have already had all of these things. Or you're going to be a scavenger like The Walking Dead. Trying to go from one town to the next, and somebody's trying to do the same thing that you're doing. And now it's survival of the fittest. Right? So, hey, there you go. Now, some people may ask a few questions like, well, Elder, what am I supposed to do if I'm in an apartment? Well, okay. If they tell you can't go nowhere and you're in your apartment, I have a few videos today of what you can do. I have some motivational videos, encouraging videos, and some things that other YouTubers are doing. Now, a lot of YouTubers are fronting. They grow their food and do all of that just to get YouTube views so they can make money off YouTube. They don't actually eat their food. Or they just go buy starter plants, but they don't really know how to plant. Okay? Just to get some YouTube views. You need to actually develop the skill. You need to actually practice. It might take you some time, but you need to develop the skill. Go to your local nursery, start asking questions. Sometimes they have little meetings for beekeepers, for gardening, and they have free food and all that. I'm just telling you, that's in my town in Texas. Like I go around the corner, they're like, yeah, we got this guy coming out and he's giving away free plants. So some of you who need plants, I have one like, I forget the name of this place, but they're having like a little seminar and just different things to teach people how to garden, and they're giving away free plants. Who wouldn't want to go to some of these things to network, make friends of mammon so that you will be without everlasting habitations? Because you know what Esau's seeing, oh, hey, how are you? Yeah, what's your name? My name is Jen. Oh, yeah, what's your name? So listen, you can go there and meet some of these good people, because there's some of them is good people. And guess what? If you call them, I got a few Esau that I can call who is very cool people. And guess what? I already had a few talks with them, and all of them don't think I'm racist from what we teach at all. They like, man, you're a good man. And I'm like, listen, if you need me in this time, you call me. And they like, man, you call me too. So if I need somebody, Esau's coming, they coming with their trucks. I need you to bring them dually trucks, and guess what? Let's go. I got to go pick up some of the homies. I got to go pick up some of my people in the church. Can you go with me? It'd be total confusion. You see Elder Rawchaa with some Edomites with a Confederate flag. They be like, this is totally confusing. How is this working? Let me tell you, everybody's confused. No one really knows why they do what they do sometimes. Most white people don't even know why they're racist. I'm just telling you the truth. Most white people don't even know why they're racist. So you when you realize how Babylon have fooled everybody, then you will understand. So don't take it personal. So anyway, guys, let me go into, for some beginners really quick to show you. I'm not going to go through the whole video. You can go to the video yourself so you can study. The basic thing about planning for a person is, if you're in an apartment, you need to have space. I only had a balcony when I was in Europe at one point. But when the Most High saw that, listen, I was so eager to still eat natural food just off of my balcony. And at one point, hey, I had to make sure that I could do that until I got on my feet. I had my tomatoes, I had all my greens, and guess what? We were getting free bananas. We were getting free bananas, like free bananas galore. We had so many stalks of banana from my sister-in-law's uncle. He was giving free bananas, oranges. They getting wild oregano. So that's how it is on the other side of the world. You got wild lavender, wild oregano, and it was just amazing. So we survived off of some of this stuff. But I had all of this stuff in the garden, stir-fry kill every morning. You know, hey, it was amazing. So I had the balcony sewed up. You could barely walk out there with vegetables. I mean, it was sewed up, kale everywhere. I had like a little jungle out there, but it was nice and organized. So much to where I had to start growing sprouts on my windows. And then I said, man, I need more room. I took, some of those plants. I started new plants, and then I bought some buckets, some little more plant pots, and I start planting on the roof. So I had a whole garden on the patio, then a whole garden on the roof. Ask my brother. And then I start running out of room because I said, man, I'm having to go upstairs, garden this stuff, go, on the patio, water it, water. And then I asked my sister-in-law, does her uncle have a free plot, like some free space on his plot? Because he was selling to the grocery stores. And I knew I was gonna grow something that was very expensive in the country. Because I said, you know what, I'm gonna start trying to put this thing in the grocery stores. And they were trying to ask where my stuff was. I said, no, they trying to rob you before you kill out there. So I said that. Why did I say all that? If you're faithful in least, you will be faithful in much. If the Most High sees that you're serious gardening on the patio and it's starting to go somewhere and to do something, he may actually start to bless the work of your hands to get you a little backyard so you can be able to garden. Okay, but if you don't have it, you don't need it. You still have things I'm going to show you that you can do. I've done it before. Okay, I've actually done it successfully. All right, hydroponics. I've gardened with a PVC pipe, about a thick PVC pipe. Okay, I took a heat gun, put holes all in that thing. Had lettuce and greens growing all out, and I had a tube in the middle with holes in it, and I watered it like that. And it doesn't take a lot of space. You have to get creative. All right. So let me go there. Let me just show. Let me show what I have here. We'll talk about soil and all that later. Let me see what we got here. 1 second. Yeah, let me we'll play this one first. 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me pull this up for you guys. Fair use for educational purposes only. This is just what she's doing. All right, we're not going to watch her whole video. All right. So, matter of fact, I'm just going to keep the sound off. And you guys can just go watch it. I'm just going to show you what she has going on and what you can do. If you can't afford it, get you some PVC, get you some screws, get you some braces, get you some 2x4s, put that 2x4 up, brace that PVC to that 2x4, get your heat gun first, put your holes in, and make sure your holes are, when you heat that hole up, that it's kind of bent so that your plants won't just fall out. Yeah, it's all type of, all of this is on YouTube. All right. So, one second. I'm going to pull it up. So, I don't know who this is. Never seen it before. Don't watch her channel. But I'm just giving you an idea. That's the main point about it. Look what she has here.
Project that I was super excited about. And
It says DIY watering system for the green stalk vertical planter that allows you to still rotate the planter. You don't have to get this fancy one that you see that she has. Let's see if I can go to a
just
part.
completed it and finally came out.
So do you guys see what she have here? Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. She has, once again, this is nothing but a 2x4 with another short, you understand, piece of wood and one coming out. You can make this yourself with some screws and some wood. If you want to get fancy, get fancy. You can also buy these things offline. You can buy them off Facebook Marketplace. You can find these things for cheaper than paying all of the thousands of dollars that they will sell you for something like this. I've done this with a trash can and put holes in it, and it was beautiful. Ask people who came to my house. Beautiful. Lettuce popping all out from the top, everything. So, for instance, you take something like this, you putting holes all in it, and you put a tube in it. You're going to, with holes, like a PVC or something, with a drill or a heat gun. And you water in that tube is now spreading that water inside of that dirt. Okay, and you make the holes, make the lip come out of the holes, so that your plants are not just falling down, and so that they can kind of perk up. But if you don't want to do it that way, you can also do it the way that she's doing it here. You can put a bunch of little things together. Look, I just did it with common sense. Boom. Find a way to put that thing together. I don't care if you're using glue, bracing it, whatever you need to do it. Grow bags, whatever you guys, you can use grow bags. You can stack grow bags. You can put 4 grow bags next to each other, put one in the middle. You got something similar to that. The grow bags are called like the sackcloth type of bags because they can breathe and they have good aeration for the roots. It's called like air pruning. Because we don't want to come on when it comes to gardening. Everyone wants to be a know-it-all, regardless if you're a master gardener or a good gardener. Who cares? We're just trying to teach people how to grow food. At the end of the day, it's common sense. Get you a seed, put that thing in the ground, water it, don't overwater it, let it hit the sun, feed it a little nutrients every now and then, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about survival right now. People need to start putting their hand to the plow and surviving. So if you are living in an apartment, you can still do it. You know, if you're female, what you call it cute, you can still do it neat. This is just one system right here. Okay, so I just wanted to show you. I don't really want to watch her whole video. If you want to watch her video, okay, I will. There you go. You can see her video there. Fair use for educational purposes only. I'll put it there again. So many thousands of people on YouTube. Hopefully you can find one that actually does eat the food from their garden. I'm gardening to eat the food from my gardening. And I actually have been eating the food from my garden for the whole year. Okay, there's some things I can improve on. Because when you garden on one side of the world, it's different than another climate. It's different zones. You can be a master at one zone and then you can come into another zone and you can be a total garbage gardener. Because you have to test the soil. You can send your soil in to get examined or tested through a lab, and they would tell you if you're missing certain vital nutrients and minerals in your soil. Okay? But keep it simple. Once you start to, build upon a foundation of just putting some clean, good dirt, adding a little compost on top. If you want to add some organic fertilizer in there, it's okay, because if you get some organic fertilizer that has bacteria in it, good probiotics, good soil microbes and probiotics, right? The good fungus and all that, right? What they call mycorrhizal fungi and all that, right? They sell all of these things separate, but you can make it yourself too. So there's ways to make it. I'm giving you all of these options if you can't afford it. So some people are like, man, I can't afford all these things. It's okay. Type in how to make good fungus for soil. There you go. You don't need it right away though. Lactobacillus. You can put it on your soil. Okay? You have to learn how to make it. Molasses and water. Put a little molasses in water, a little fish fertilizer from the store that's not too expensive. It'll last you a long time. Water your plants with that once a week. I like to do mine. I like to give mine a little, like they're giving them a little Sabbath. On the Fridays, I might hit them with a little liquid fertilizer. I'm about to go into the Sabbath. My plant's going into the Sabbath. That's what I used to do every week. It's not necessary, but if you have a consistent system like that, your plants are totally going to grow. But you want to have a good balanced soil. So if you're growing in pots on an apartment, get you a good potting soil that's specifically made for that. Sometimes we fail at making our soil. We think we can make our own soil, but you need to have everything that's in there correctly. Or you can get you a soil tester where you can see if is your soil too alkaline, is your soil too acidic. You can find one at Home Depot or you can order one online. I'm putting all of this out there because people need to really learn to start planting. If it's shut down, most people will not make it. I'm just telling you the truth. Most people will not make it. You don't know what grows fast, what grows year round, no matter what. And I'm going to give you some things. Kale. No matter if it's hot, snowing, cold, spring, summer, fall, kale is going to grow. Now the best kale to grow, and this is not an opinion right here. Dinosaur kale or what is it called? Lacento kale. This kale is not bothered by bugs like the red Russian kale or the rest. This is a fact. It can't be debated. Okay? Once that plant gets big, because I've grown this for years successfully, and I've tested it. Out of all the kales, this kale survives the best out of all of the kales. It's strong. That's why they call it dinosaur kale for a reason. Okay? You want to grow bulletproof plants. Beans. Easy to grow. I mean, you throw a bean in there, that thing comes up in a day. You throw a bean in that thing is, if you can't plant beans, you need to hang the gardening up. Beans are so easy. I want to give you guys the easy things. Beans. So you got you some protein. You better you better make you some chicken stock or something to the side and can it so you can have that thing to pour in them beans. Because, boy, them beans are going to be terrible and tasting like air if you don't have no flavor added to them things. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, so why you can go to the store, get you some beef tallow if you're looking for grease. Say, butcher, can I buy some of your tallow? Hey, you get you about 5 to 10 pounds for $5. Go back home, work that thing, can it. You got you some tallow. Cook them eggs and everything in there. Get you a chicken or two. Hopefully you can have it in the HOA, or you gonna have to duct tape the mouth on that thing so it can, the rooster. Elder just playing with you. Do you guys know that for the chickens, they actually have the thing you could put on a rooster so you can't hear the rooster? Somebody tried that thing. That rooster, they choking the poor rooster. I said, Lord have mercy. But contrary to belief, you don't need a rooster to lay eggs. You can keep 2 hens in a little cage. And if it's just you got you 2 eggs a day to survive. As long as you got some worms or something or some grass for that chicken to eat, I'm serious. Chickens eat grass. They eat the arthropods in the grass. You can't really hear the hens. So if you give them a little leftover stuff that you have, like I got like a little container with the leftovers we put in there, we dump all of that in there. Fruits, vegetables, whatever the case may be. Chickens they're gonna turn that thing into compost. And they're eating. Obviously I have some chicken feed for them as well, but I'm telling you, A chicken in the times of trouble is like you have eggs every day if you have the right environment for them. Because the hens like to stay comfortable. I'm giving y'all some wisdom. So don't try to get one chicken and you got 6 kids. It ain't gonna work. Now, unless you only using the eggs to make you like, hey, we're gonna make some cornbread today. We got an egg. Boom, you got you an egg. But if you think you're gonna split that one egg between your whole family, it ain't gonna work. Okay. Yeah, get you a dehydrator, different things like that, freeze dry, whatever the case may be. You see, now freeze dryers are very expensive for most people, so we really don't usually mention that, but it's about $4,000 to $5,000 for a freeze dryer, but you don't actually need it. Let me tell you, I made sun-dried tomatoes on the roof. Got me some the little drying racks. Same thing you use for dehydrator. I put that thing in the sun, covered it with the cheesecloth, so no bugs got in there. This is what I did overseas when I couldn't afford these things. Made me sun-dried tomatoes on the table. No flies and stuff got up on them, and we were good. So them things got sun-dried, as long as the sun is out, though. So these are things let me tell you, you got to learn how to survive. I made beef jerky outside with the sun. I made beef jerky, chicken jerky, on a string. Oh yeah, successfully done. You got to cut it real thin. Okay, so I need you guys to understand. You got all your meat in the freezer. Your freezer goes out. It happened to me before. That's why I had to do it. They used to have rolling blackouts in Egypt. Guess what? Sometime the electricity gonna be off a whole day. Y'all not ready? Listen, I've been battle tested. Sometimes the electricity is going off. You're going up 16 flights of stairs. That's why I feel like I said I don't really need to visit New York, because I already lived in New York and Egypt. I couldn't stand it. Overcrowded city. That's just me though. I love my people there in our church, but I mean like that type of style of living is not for me. I can't do it. It's horrible. You going up 20 flights of stairs, the elevator stops. You trying to climb out the elevator, or you gonna be stuck in the elevator for an hour until the electricity comes back on. The people in a hospital who's on respirators and all of that, the electricity goes out. They out of there. They're dying. And guys, I am not even joking. Many people died from that. It was in the newspapers, and I'm like, when the Most High said that this place is ran by foolish nation, he was so serious. I'm like, you guys don't got backup generators in your hospitals. They think it's about the will of Allah that if you die, that it's due to the will of Allah. I'm like, are you kidding me? I definitely am thankful that I've never joined that Islam stuff. People in the hospitals, when the lights are going off, is dying. You got to walk up 20 flights of stairs because the lights are off. Because you live on the 20th floor. And guess what? If you came with a full basket of groceries, you are walking up 16 to 20 flights, coming down. And unless you got enough strength to hold them things on your arm, I had to do that and sometimes carry the babies upstairs. I'm not even joking. I'm being literal. If you ain't got no grass around, I'm good. Egypt barely had grass. You had to pay to get into a park to see some grass. If you want to play basketball, you have to pay. We are blessed over here. Y'all don't even know. Even in this captivity, we're blessed. You can just go to a park and play basketball with the homies, with the friends. Right? So I'm grateful when I see land and grass and the creation of the Most High. It gives you a sense of, I don't know, it's just appreciation of the Most High, man. Like, seriously. You literally, like, you wonder why the Egyptians are the way they are over there. It's not life. It's not life. Just a city of brick and sand. What type of life is that? Overcrowded people all over the place. I am good. Hearing all day long. all day long. But guess what? We endured through it. We endured through the Arab Spring and all of these things. So what I'm telling you guys, when this stuff happens here, the torture that we went through there as young men, I hope you can so when people see me, sometimes they're like, Elder, you doing this, you doing. Listen, you ain't been through what I've been through though. You ain't cried the tears I cried. You listen, you didn't endure, not that you can't, but you have to endure these things. You can't call yourself a servant of Christ and not prepare, not be diligent, and not try to make it through these things, not pick yourself up when you fall. This is a serious walk. So what we're talking about tonight is serious. If you're in an apartment, start now and stop asking questions about what do I do. We're gonna find out on the way. See, when I first started gardening, I almost gave up. Some little voice in my head said, this is what I do to myself. I'm hard on myself. I said, how are you gonna be a man and you can't feed your children if the grid is down? You don't know how to feed your children, slaughter meat. You don't know how to plant food. How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna be like the ancient men? Every man thinks he's tough just because he can fight. But that's just fighting in the neighborhood. You have to learn the laws in your neighborhood. You have to learn the rules. You have to know when to flee from a battle, when not to join that battle, when to actually hold your family down in a battle and be serious about it, because you didn't talk a lot of crap. Your family seen you talk a lot of crap and now you really can't do what you said. You have to really think about all these things and prepare your mind for these times. Start ordering you guys books, how to slaughter meat, how to plant this garden, self-sufficient books. Order these books now while it's time. They teach you how to make it through blackouts and different things. When they gonna cut the lights back on? Guess what? Excuse me. Guess what? We all would want the lights cut back on. But what if they didn't cut back on for 3 to 6 months? We have to be ready. Now, praise the Most High, during the time of 2020, they had grace on, it really was the Most High. They had grace on people like, listen, we can't go to work, so how will we actually be able to pay for our mortgage and stuff? Y'all had to give us some type of mercy here. They were doing that. Like, you have mortgage companies, they were like, listen, we understand that it's this going on, it's a curfew, it's all of these things going on, so we're going to give you 6 months to not actually have to pay your mortgage. This was going on. I'm not even joking. Now you have people in apartments though. Some of them were getting kicked out of the houses. So that's why I'm saying, don't cut everybody off in your family, because the Bible says, make ye friends of mammon that you will be without everlasting habitations. So if you cut everybody off and you're in an apartment complex that you don't own or you're not paying a mortgage on, it's a possibility that these people can actually take you out of there. This is reality. So we want to be in the mindset of ambassadorship as well. Make ye friends of mammon is just not a total stranger. It means people that are still of the world, that may be your friends or family, who can still assist and help you in the times of trouble. Okay? So we just cut everybody off. It's going to be a time where we have to draw the line. It will be. I'm going to be honest. It will be a time where we all have to draw the line, unfortunately. But we don't force any little thing. We don't force something that just doesn't have to be if it doesn't have to be, is what I'm saying. Okay? So we have to be very, very wise out here. Because let me tell you, I saw a lot of people, in no disrespect, run away when the Arab Spring happened. And that's no disrespect. Everyone's built different. I'm not saying I'm tougher or better. But I saw people who used to, man, I'm tough. I got my own money. I got this. I don't listen to nobody. And let me tell you, when America said, yay, we have free plane tickets back. Hey, I'm going to say they hauled tail. They hauled tail. And I didn't laugh. And I'm like, hey, people, yeah, I just was shocked. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm learning here. I'm learning. Everyone who says they're whatever. That's not the case. The Bible says you shall know them by their fruit, not by their words. All right. Well, I'm praying for my brothers and sisters in these inner cities, like the big cities like that. And they're going to be fine. The Most High is going to guide all of them. You know, I understand it like this. We are all where we are from, and we all are comfortable growing up where we are from. That's just how it is. People from the East Coast, they're comfortable being the East Coast. They probably like, I can't do that, Texas, son. I can't do all of that. And they think that people are riding horses down here just like the cowboy days. It's not true. They're doing far bigger and better things than over there, if you want to be quite honest. They're owning acres and acres and acres, and it's not meaning they're better. They're doing things that you think they're not doing. So, you know, we shouldn't think of it in a negative way, is what I'm saying. If you love where you're from, that's okay. But none of us are going to be even in the places like where I'm at one day. We're going to all be in the wilderness. This is not our home. We're just passing through. We passing through Texas, California. We passing through everywhere. So we don't want to have cliques of where we're from, and we just all have our own comfort zone. But we're all going to have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay? It's about us all enduring through the end now. You know what I'm saying? So there's really not going to be no place just totally safe on earth. Maybe some safer than others, but you know, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that our minds are prepared spiritually, and that we have, you know, as much as we can prepare our food, shelter, raiment, our protection, or whatever the case may be, sanitary things, right? Just, you know, that we but you don't want to, you don't want your best to be your worst. You don't want to say I'm doing my best, but you know it's your slothful worst. That's what I mean. You don't want that. One, it's not fair to the people who you may be around in that time. Two, it's disrespectful to the Most High when you had the chance, as we just read earlier. Now let me show you guys the other person who's doing a little vertical garden here on the patio. Once again, we'll do some. I wanted to bring some people on to actually show some videos. I'm going to show you what I've been doing. And you know, I'll be coming on here from time to time to show what I'm doing. Okay? I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I've just been posting a few things on my Instagram for now, but I'll show you that in a second. I'm not showing anything that I'm planting. I'll be putting everything in the ground if it be the Most High's will tomorrow, because I have a very busy day tomorrow. Let's see here. 1 second here, guys. 1 second. Fair use. Fair use. They come on here with all of these ads. Father, have mercy. I don't want to disrespect nobody, but I'm like, y'all don't care about our people. They come over here. He's my miracle child. All this stuff. I'm like, listen. I'm not saying he's not your miracle child, but we got a bunch of miracle little black children around here no one wants to help. So we don't want to donate to none of your causes until you help our people. We're not going. Hey, we don't want anybody to get hurt, but we not donate anything until you donate to our little miracle children. So all of that acting and all that, and if it's not acting, with all due respect, please donate to the little black children in the hood. Those are God's chosen people, just so you know. But anyway, fair use for educational purposes only. Let's see what she's talking about here. She grows pounds of food on a deck every week.
Just start growing your own food in your backyard, but what if you don't have a backyard? And what's not getting enough attention is that folks like you and me that just have a deck or a patio or truly just a few square feet can actually rival what in-ground gardeners can produce. Maybe I don't have a single blade of grass out back, but that still hasn't stopped me from growing pounds of food.
So do you hear my sister? She may be in a city type of environment, but listen, this is like, it's all about a person's mindset. She is not letting that stop her. I believe that it all starts with your faith. You can grow indoors. They have little things now on Amazon that you can grow lettuce and herbs. Now, it wouldn't be enough for a person to survive. So I would try to really do something serious and start getting a serious practice on that patio or on the windowsill or in the house or in the garage with a grow light. If you can afford the electricity, right? Or use the sunlight if you have a big window like she does, okay? But put your hand to the plow. I got all the kids out there working so they can understand, and we're going to show why we do that.
On just a deck for years
Fair use.
now. I'm in my 4th year of getting results like this. You're a clever somebody. I can tell you already picked up on.
Do you see that? Do you see all the food that she's growing there? Let's take it back a little bit. Look at all that food that my sister is growing. Faith without works is dead.
Of getting results like this.
Listen, don't make gardening difficult. If you're going to work and you don't have time to water, get you a timer. They have simple little plug-in timers for these same systems. My neighbor has one. She has a little plug-in timer. She puts it on a time. It'll do it every 10 minutes or every hour or whatever the case may be. Or you can get you a timer that doesn't need electricity. You have to keep the water on, but you plug it to your water hose, and that thing will water 6 in the morning, 6 at night, whatever. That's how I used to do my garden in Egypt. 6 in the morning, 6 at night. Flourishing little Garden of Eden. Totally amazing. Had hundreds of tomatoes, cucumbers. I mean, almost I would come home every week. I would come home with 2 trees, 2 fruit trees, just to add to that garden. But look what she's doing on a little balcony.
You're a clever somebody. I can tell you already picked up on a feature of my garden. Yeah, it's that I exclusively grow
and when you learn how to harvest from these plants, you can't over harvest, because you just kill the plant. Harvest a little bit from one, harvest a little bit from the other one, and it will give it energy to continue to come back. Like Christ said, you prune it, and then that tree keeps growing. And guess what? Herbs and leafy greens, they grow the same way.
planters. And that's because growing vertically is how a small garden competes with any other. It takes the reaction others have when they see your garden to, oh, that's cute too. Whoa, you're serious. Oh, I am very serious. Vertical gardening has given me the healthiest and most successful gardens I've ever had since switching to my green stalks 4 years ago.
Don't get you just any outside dirt to put inside your house that's going to have gnats, though. You want to get you a little cinnamon oil or a little peppermint oil in a spray bottle and spray that soil so you're not having little fungus gnats. The cinnamon will help keep away fungus. Little food grade cinnamon oil. Just one drop is powerful enough.
Land when you could use the air. Instead of growing horizontally, the ability to stack your growing space and create vertical real estate literally out of thin air makes vertical gardening the answer to your gardening dreams. So from one small space grower to another, in this video, I'm going to share how I consistently grow over 150 different crops, including herbs, flowers, fruits, and vegetables exclusively on a townhouse deck throughout the seasons, explain why this system of gardening is cheaper than using.
Some of you may not even have as much space as she has, but you still can produce a lot of food with vertical gardening. I've done it. I've done the gardening where I had fish in the water, but you have to know what you're doing. And I was growing my broccoli, the roots was in the water and the fish was under that thing. Let me tell you, I've done all of it. Okay, but I personally like the basic gardening in the ground more than all of that, personally. But this is nice because I just like to produce a whole lot. I mean, when I have company, I want them to be able to eat. I want us to be able to sit at the garden and we eating right at the garden. We baking pizza. Hey, go get some of that basil out that greenhouse. Come on, baby. You know, that's how I like to do it. But if you could do the same thing, every time I was cooking, we was always taking the fresh herbs and everything fresh from outside. So you can do it.
5-gallon buckets or containers, show you how to set up a green stalk planter in minutes, which doesn't require tools or much time, and let you see how I'm able to significantly reduce my grocery budget and have substantial harvest using a planter designed for all ages and stages.
Reduce the grocery budget. This is serious. This is another reason we need to be doing this. Things are so expensive right now. Who's going to tell us it's not? Things are very expensive. I'm going to tell you, we're not talking about Temu right now. We're talking about food. You can't eat Temu. Okay? And Temu is spying on everybody. They just brung that thing out. I'm not saying you can't wear the clothes, but I'm telling you, they spying on everybody just like Sean John had the little... Sean John was caught with GPS devices on Sean John, just so you know. So Temu spying on everybody. So you if you have that app, you may just want to shop online on Temu instead of having the app, because they're saying, just like TikTok, they're actually spying, or whatever the case may be. But that's besides the point. Let's focus on the gardening.
Of gardeners. Just a little caveat before we get started here that the way my garden continues to look year after year is a shock to even me, which is why I need to let you know that you're listening to an intermediate beginner gardener, okay? I have no real gardening.
See, she kept it real. She didn't come on here like the YouTubers. This is what they watch a YouTube video one day, and the next day they showing you the same video they just watched and learned as if they're the expert. We have to stop that madness. At least my sister is being real. I hope she's married. That's a good woman. Being honest.
And I don't keep a complicated routine. These planters.
So if you are a beginner gardener, this is the perfect video for you to watch. Go ahead and watch my sister's video. We're not going to play her whole video. Go ahead and watch my sister's video. Okay?
And how you maintain what you're growing in them is embarrassingly...
Hey, look, who said that? Virtue said, I no longer purchase herbs, I grow them. Listen, you will get way more for your buck, Virtue. If you go into, like, we have a store here called HEB. They sell two little stalks of stems with basil on them for $2. And I always ask my wife, I'm like, you sure we ain't got basil inside of the greenhouse? Because they flipping this thing like drug dealers. 2 things of basil for $2? Do you know how easy basil grows? And it flourishes. And you don't need much of it in your food. That's another thing, guys. Be careful what you ask for. Because once you get this garden, it will flourish if you do the basics. Water just enough. Don't overwater. Make sure it's not too hot if you need to put a little shade cloth around or something like that. Make sure it has enough sun. And guess what? A little organic fertilizer. And you don't always have to have fertilizer. You don't always have to. You can do compost. You can do a little molasses, whatever the case may be. Okay?
Simple. All gardeners face 3 obstacles that can sabotage your success. But green stalks help you manage pest pressure, watering, and fertilizing, leaving little room for error. Take a look. Grab your morning cup of coffee, because with a green stalk garden, you can enjoy a cup of joe in one hand with your watering hose in the other.
Cup of
There's
joe.
no watering guesswork, because all you have to
Whoever
do is
named
fill
it
the top
that,
water
Joe.
reservoir, which is what you see me doing here. Unlike other stackable planters, a green stalk has a series of basins that deliver fresh water to each tier at the same time. The gray disc then starts dripping fresh water into each pocket. Keep filling the top water reservoir until water drips out from the bottom hose. You can then stop filling the top and know that the bottom tier is getting water. The results are more consistent watering, and you're not oversaturating some tiers to bring water to others. Fertilizing is just as simple. I make my own fertilizers, but regardless of what you use, you can deliver nutrients directly to individual plant pockets, and also with any water-soluble or granular.
For you beginner gardeners, when you're planting green things, they need more nitrogen. Okay? But obviously, and a liquid fertilizer on a patio garden is much more better. Now you can't put your little organic fertilizer when you're first starting, you can. But if you liquid fertilizer that thing, at least I would say at least once every 2 weeks with a little compost or whatever. I've already done it. You will never have problems. Your garden will always flourish because you're constantly feeding it. Okay? I like to do mine once a week, but once every 2 weeks is amazing.
Fertilizers with the green stalks watering system.
Yeah. You want to plant the things to attract pollinators and stuff like that, but trust me, that's going to happen anyway.
By elevating plants off the ground, vertical gardens minimize direct contact with the soil.
We want to keep it basic for them.
Pests such as slugs or snails thrive and access your crops. You'll also experience better air circulation around plants compared to traditional in-ground gardens, which will deter pests that are attracted to damp environments. When pest pressure is at its worst, you'll
Listen, guys, I'm going to tell you guys something. A lot of you are just planting herbs. You won't survive off of just herbs. Have you ever tried to... I don't understand the vegan thing still. Have you ever tried to eat a bowl of just basil and see how you feel? You're going to get nauseated. You're going to get a headache. Have you ever tried to eat a bowl of herbs, of thyme? You will overdose. Herbs is also, they're flavoring things for your food and spices, but they're also medicine. You are not just going to eat a bowl of herbs. I'm talking about a big salad bowl of just herbs. No, you're not. Trust me when I say that. So you want to make sure you're planting something where you can get some protein, some fats, some omegas, okay, some vitamins and some minerals. That's why we're speaking about what are some of the main things to plant. Kale, collards, amaranth, okay? The Jamaicans call it something different, okay? Benjamin calls it something different. What do they call it again? I don't call it that. We call it amaranth over here, but it's the same thing. They call it callaloo. It's the same thing. It's just amaranth, okay? These things have a lot of nutrition. Moringa. Even if you turn your moringa tree into a bush, you got you some moringa, okay? And I'm saying if you can't order from Key Supplements, you got you a little moringa tree where it's starting to grow, and you hopefully that thing will mature. You know, when you got you a little moringa tree, you can go to the nursery and get you one, okay? And it can purify water. The seeds can purify water. So you want things that are going to actually help you to survive. Start planting those things now. What do you want? What do you like in your salads? Cucumbers are very easy to grow. I grow Bayard Alpha. I have my little kids helping me with the seedlings and the starter. Now, they ain't spelled some of the stuff right, but you know, it was cute. They're helping you understand to do this and to learn. And they will constantly get better and get better. So I'm proud of them. And if you teach these children these things, you teach yourself these things, guess what? Guys, it's so easy to grow these things. Peppers, easy to grow. Tomatoes. Tomatoes, guys, listen. You put a tomato plant in the ground, even if you bought it or you started from seed. You cut a stem off of the tomato. Put that in the ground. It's going to grow a whole nother tomato plant. That's how I grew 300 plus tomatoes in my little garden when I was overseas. You just flip that thing like, hey, you flip that thing. Right? Christ gave you a talent. He's showing you you can graft a tree. You can cut you can propagate. I did an experiment this year where I cut some cuttings off of my tree, some scions. I put them in a bag of soil with some root stimulator. I closed the bag, knowing that it would cause humidity. I knew that when spring came, that it would grow roots so I can grow a whole new tree that I can seal or keep in my garden. It did exactly that. So that's a great experiment. Hopefully I have it on here to show you guys that. Why yours keeps dying, you must treat the soil. The soil, you probably don't have good soil. Sometimes you over fertilize the soil. Sometimes you're doing too much to the soil. Or sometimes some people get soil like I have before when I was young. I was young in the mind when it comes to this. You get the soil and you're just ready to plant. You start putting everything in, and the soil have not even rested for a few weeks or a month to kind of calm down, especially if you're getting soil from some of these big companies.
Using green stalks, insect protection covers, Greenstock excels at boutique packaging, and I'm going to repurpose that beautiful ribbon.
So
The insect protection covers work well with all sizes of greenstock planters and is multi-purpose because it can be used for shrubs and small trees. This innovative material was specifically designed to block whiteflies, aphids, leaf miners, and thrips. Just throw it on and zip it up. You'll appreciate that it zips from the bottom for easy harvest and allows 80% of sunlight through. If you have a green stalk with plant supports for your vining fruits and veggies like I do, your cover still provides protection. It's sewn with UV stable threading and binding.
I'm going to tell you guys something. The bugs do come. The curses of Adam are still there. So you can get this, or you can just go get you a screen cloth and put you some bricks at the bottom. Put you some bricks at the bottom to hold that thing if you can't afford it. You can get you a net, your own net from Harbor Freight. Put that thing around there so the sun can still come through. Put some bricks at the bottom of it, or just zip tie it, and there you go. Or you can order this, because I'm sure it's going to probably be a little expensive, but you don't actually have to have a net. If you go out there, make you a little garlic water with a little onion. Cut it, soak it in the water overnight. Okay? When you wake up, you can go spray that on your plants. Just garlic and onion. It's good for the plants as well. Or you can spray a little dish soap with water. It's with that as well. Or just dish soap alone. Or you can, buy garlic oil, cinnamon oil, mint oil. Drop a few things in there, shake it up with a little dish soap, spray it on there. Just to make sure your bugs don't come. You don't always have to use neem oil, because sometimes it scares away the pollinators. We're giving you a lot of things on here now, tonight.
A watertight zipper and 5-year warranty. These covers give you your very own greenhouse right on a deck. A healthier garden.
So you have butterflies that come, or moths, and they lay worms on the bottom of your brassica plants. They like to come and eat them. Or you have something called a leaf miner. It looks like it's making a little racetrack on your leaves. You want to cut those leaves off. Those are not good things. Okay? You have aphids. They will lay, you understand, little. It look like a little cotton under your leaves. The ants will come and eat that because it's sweet. So, if you have a garden though and you plant herbs with it, you won't always see the bugs. It all depends on your climate. Some people don't deal with the bugs, and some people do. All right. Is fish fertilizer good? Oh yeah, fish fertilizer is good, and I know how to make it myself as well. Okay.
Produces a higher yield, which is why I'm able to harvest a variety of herbs from mid-spring to late fall.
So we're gonna leave it there with her. I want you guys to go check that out if you are trying to learn how to garden in an apartment. She gave I must say, my sister gave very great information. It was very presentable. Okay. She elaborated on many things. You need your water. So like we were talking about early, find out how you guys can catch rainwater, if you can, from gutters or whatever the case may be, or whatever. But you need to, if you have a creek or a pond, I wouldn't suggest just going for that first, but you would have to have a filter and some water purification things. You have to study how to do that. But if you have time, fill the water up now, especially if you have land. But if you're in an apartment, you save you more water. You save you water enough to last you a few weeks to a month or more. Now, because I know you probably don't have the storage, or unless you got you a storage, because you might not be able to run to a storage. So we all have to figure out what our situation is going to be without being nervous, knowing that our God is going to protect us. Because everyone's situation is going to be different than the next. See, what the Most High wants to see in you, that you're taking His word serious. He doesn't care if you have an apartment, you have a house, He would rather us all have that, but that's just not reality. So the strong have to bear the infirmities of the weak to a certain degree. That's why we may have to send leaders out to check on people and do this and do that, right? But you have to make sure you do your part. You can't say, I need y'all to check on me. I ain't got no food and water, because we're going to look at you like, listen, have we not been telling you to prepare? Learn from these lessons how to plant. You need to do this. You know why I'm going to show you this? Let me show you what they're doing in Japan. I saw this on Instagram. I said, wow, totally amazing. This is what they teach their children in homeschool. I teach mine the same. Let me show you this really quick. Boy, am I tired. I got to get me some rest. but grinding all day long. Fair use for educational purposes only. All right, we're not saying they're better than us. We're just showing you what the Gentiles are teaching their nations and what we're not. Most of us can't garden, don't own lands, don't own any livestock or cattle, and wouldn't know what to do with it. We have to start practicing not only just, we're following the law, but how is a kingdom built? Kingdom is built off of economics, finances. It's not built off of just, well, I wonder how we do that. Let's go find out. That's how we do it. And keep doing it. Okay? So that's how it's done. It's not done but by us just getting together, kumbaya, saying, praise the higher. That's not a kingdom. You come together. Who's an engineer? Who's an architect? Who's this? Who's that? Who can cook? Hey, we need all of these things. We need knowledge to know when to plant. Listen, they didn't even have as much education as we have modern day, even though this modern day education is garbage to a certain degree. And we're talking about the stuff that's not useful, just a bunch of information that you don't utilize. You don't use it, you lose it. The Indians were gardening and understand how to use the herbs, how they understood how to do all of these things. We're learning a bunch of information, but they're not teaching us, in all schools, in some schools they do, how to garden, what to do with your money, your finances when it comes to real estate and all of these things. Yeah. Reuben Israel, your brother got sheep, huh? It's time for you to get some sheep too, though. Or you to go in with them. Right? Yeah. It's time for us all to one day pray to the Most High to get situations to where we are like our forefathers. It's the better way to live. If you're only eating from the stores needing the stores for every little thing, you are just a consumer. You shouldn't want to be a consumer. Your mindset shouldn't just want. If you have to go to the store for now, we all do. But let's not have that in our mind that we're just going to take from the store forever. If that thing's shut down, what you going to do? Don't even have it in your mind. Don't even have going to hell in your mind. Don't have being weak or I can't do it in my mind. Don't have I can't pay my tithes because my job don't pay me enough. Find another job. Go study and get a trade to find another job. It's time to survive. It's time to not just survive, It's time to thrive. Regardless of Babylon's going down, our kingdom is coming. What will we do in our kingdom to build it? What brick are we bringing? You ain't gonna even survive to show your brick if you ain't prepared. Right? Yeah, it's okay, Reuben. You don't have nothing now, but where you are now don't mean that's where you're going to be later. You have to have the faith. Everything Christ was going around saying is about your faith and your mindset. Your faith is your mindset. If I'm telling you I can heal you, but you telling me I don't believe that, okay, well, sure, I can't heal you. I mean, that don't even make sense. I'm going to do this and this is going to heal you. No, it won't. Because all these other people told me this. Okay, well, it won't then. You're wasting my time. Hey, you have to believe on the Christ in your leaders for you to get healed. And then from there, when it says sin no more, that means don't continue those same actions you were doing before, or everything you were doing is going to come back on you sevenfold. That's what Christ was telling the whole gospel when he was healing people. Sin no more. Not only just don't sin, like don't eat this pork no more, or don't live this lifestyle anymore. All of the above. Yeah, Akatazab said, don't just get another job. Start your own business. But check it out. You have to tell them this, Akatazab. They can't just quit and start their own business and just jump off of faith. You have to transition. Faith is using also wisdom. It's called transitioning. Some people will quit their job and just start a business, and they're not even making as much in their business, and then they go broke. So they actually have to transition. It's called transition. Our God doesn't just take us from here and throw us in the wilderness. It's called a transition because we wouldn't make it. All right? So you have to transition. Wean. Everything is about being weaned. You don't come in and start getting the big knowledge all, right away. You have to be weaned from the breast and the milk, and then you can eat meat. But great point. Let us play this, okay?
Among the wisest and greatest nations in the world. You'll be quite surprised by the end. In Japanese schools, the students don't take any exams until they reach grade 4. The Japanese believe that at this age, there are far more important lessons to impart to children than those found on tests. First, there's teaching proper behavior and respect for all people, regardless of their financial status. Second, it's about fostering independence and simultaneously the ability to work in a team. For example, there are no janitors in schools. Students share responsibilities and take full charge of cleaning. Third, students learn the importance of valuing and conserving the environment. Fourth,
I'm sorry, they said no sound. Sorry about that. I was going in. I'm saying they don't teach our people these things. I'll just leave it, unmute. They don't teach our people and take them to, hey, this is a plateau. This is a mountain. This is a desert. Right? Our children need these things. So it's our job to instill it in our children. Not just learning a bunch of information and trying to learn everything. Instill in them what God already has in them that you see. You see God have something in them, transition them into that. You understand that our God gave every man or woman a talent. Let's push them in that area. But, everyone needs to understand how to garden. All of our people are like, we don't, I don't know how to garden. I want to garden one day. How long shall we say I want to garden or do this one day? You have the power to start now. Start now. Or is your priority always hanging out? Is your priority only always hanging out with your friends? And it's okay to do that. You should. But you need to do things that when your friends are not around, you have your own oil in your lamp. You have to prepare your life sometimes, especially the youth. As a young man, you want to get married, but then you want to go play grab butt all day with your homies. Huh? You want to be playing around all day. Nah, bruh. Go handle your business. You'll have time to hang out. You want to hang with the homegirls all day, but you still don't know how to cook. You're supposed to be on YouTube learning how to cook or learning from the sisters how to cook and how to do certain things. And then every now and then, guess what? You hang out. Now, if you just got you a good crew and y'all all doing it together too, now that's beautiful. You guys are all learning things together. That's good too. But just wasting time hanging out, just wasting time, oh my goodness. Don't do that. So this nation is teaching their children this. We need to learn from this.
education is pursued truly for knowledge,
not for grades. Education is pursued truly for knowledge and understanding, not for grades. We don't got to go to Japan and say the Japanese are wise. Jacob is wise. Jacob is the former of all things. We just have fallen and discontinued from our heritage. I'm not finna go around to other nations and be like, oh my goodness, I'm going to go see the Chinese and the Japanese. They're wise. No one was wiser than Solomon. It all came from Solomon. Okay, our brother, our black brother, our Judite king, the son of David. All of this information in the college comes from him. The martial arts that went to Asia comes from us. I'm not finna go over there and I don't like when people come over here telling me, hey, did you see what they're doing over there? I don't care. I don't care if an Asian can dance like me And I'm not saying some of those people are not Israelites, but I really don't care about copycat stuff. I don't. I care about originality. Sorry. Yeah, they can dance. It's just good copycatting to me. I don't need to see a new Beyonce or a new Rihanna, or there already has a Rihanna or a Beyonce. Even though I don't jam them, I'm just giving you a general example. I don't need to see a new this or new that. Our people get so caught up in this, and I'm telling them, that's not you. What are you doing for yourself? You sitting here bragging and putting other people on your stories, but I'm asking you, what are you doing? If you putting people on your Instagram stories for inspiration, but what are you actually trying to be? What are you doing? You putting it up as if that's you. That's not you. Like, yo, check this out. That ain't you. See? Let's finish.
In the lower and middle grades, students aren't given grades. Fifth, politeness.
See, when you go to school, we come home getting them butt whippings in America because we get them bad grades, knowing we want to go out to see what some of these Japanese children are seeing. Take us some places, not just the little field trips where we just go to, these basic places. Take us to the garden. Let us learn what it's like to fish, or, not just the zoo. We seeing animals in a cage. Let us learn on a regular what it's like to grow food. Not just, you want to put a bean, put a bean inside of a cup and some dirt. Take me to the garden. Let me taste the food from the garden. Let me see what it's like to have a garden. Let me be inspired of, what I want to have one day. Right? They're telling these children to clean up the school and all of that. Look at the discipline. You go to the hood. I went to go street preach the other day. Right? Who's saying they can't hear it? You can hear me now. I went to street preach the other day with the fellas, with the brethren. I had just said they don't cut the grass in the hood, and we go, and they like, look, Elder, that's just what you said. We got bugs and stuff flying around. I'm like, man, what's going on? Everyone's driving around in their clean cars, and no one decided to, all these dope and drug dealers pay a brother, $5-10 with a lawnmower to cut the grass around here. When you go to Esau's neighborhood and the rest of the Gentile, that thing is cut. And they coming over in your neighborhood just to do business, and they ain't even cutting the grass. They yeah, give me that grass, that green grass, that money though. Right? Discipline is what we need. We got to come back. All we want to do is hang around and hope something gonna happen. Forget hope. We need faith, works, and keep the hope there, but only keep the hope on the kingdom to come, and keep dealing with your faith and your works.
Punctuality are emphasized. As a result, children's interest in their studies is so high that attendance rates are nearly 100%, and the overall development of these children ranks among the most advanced. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments.
So let me tell you, you have them over there dealing like this, right? While our people are we just going through it, man. This is what let me tell you what we got going over here, what they trying to do. Fair use. This is what they trying to do while I'm telling you, you need to get your garden game up. No games being played. Straight up. Get your garden game up. How long are you going to shop at the store? And if you don't have your food saved, you better make sure you got you about 6 months if you don't know how to garden. I'm going to tell you right now. 6 months to a year. If you do know how to garden, you better make sure you at least 6 months to a year stocked up. Because even though we garden, if there's something to where we can't garden, or we don't know how to garden inside or outside, to where they do something to the weather, you still have to have food stocked up. That's why we're talking about learn to garden and stock food. Both. Fair use for educational purposes only. This is what they're trying to do to us over here.
Give me an example of a food that's a vaccine. You recognize?
Yes. University of California, Riverside has already perfected the ability to put human vaccines into our lettuce right now. Also tomatoes has the ability to do that also for UC Berkeley. And then Big Tobacco, RJ Reynolds and stuff has perfected the ability to put a human vaccine into tobacco products.
Chairman Clements?
And is that even legal to do in the state of Tennessee, to sell those with a vaccine in them?
You recognize?
Well, I'm not arguing that point. What I'm saying is there is no law deeming those that when you go into a grocery store, you should know as a consumer, this head of lettuce is a head of lettuce. The head of lettuce right next to it could contain a vaccine in it. All we're saying is if it does have the vaccine in it, make sure it's listed as a pharmaceutical so people can get the proper dosage.
My question is right now, can you walk into a grocery store and there be a head of lettuce for sale that has a vaccine in it? I don't think that's allowed under state law presently. And if it is, and you have to list it as a pharmaceutical, are we going to then have Walgreens pharmacists with a refrigerated section? I mean, how's this going to play out?
You recognize?
Thank you. This is more of a consumer protection bill right here, is to make sure that if you're going in to buy tomatoes and there's a polio vaccine in there, that you are aware of what you're buying has a polio vaccine. The problem you have is if it's not treated as a pharmaceutical.
Folks, you want to start practicing growing your own food. I'm trying to tell you right now. Grow to the farmer's market and all that too, but you need to learn the skill. We used to have our own gardens in the land of Israel. You know, yes, there was always markets, but you need to have your own. You can barter and trade with others if you can't grow certain things in your area. But these people are serious, guys. They're serious. You are not going to know how serious they are until the time comes where they shut this thing down and you can't go to the grocery store. And I know a lot of you are growing lettuce, but lettuce is not enough. It does not have enough nutrition in it. I'm sorry. Grow you something that has omegas, iron, minerals, vitamins like kale. I'm trying to tell you, it's like, you don't have to grow what I grow. Amaranth, callaloo. You need to grow things like that have lots of nutrients in it. Now, there's a few other things, nettle, but no one's going to walk around eating nettle all day. So I'm telling you, you want to grow something that's a powerhouse. Beans, kale. That's why you see most YouTubers, they always have kale in their gardens. Collards, beans. This is important. Potatoes. I forgot to mention potatoes, carrots, cucumbers. These things are like your staple. You don't want to drink that. You don't want to be eating that. That just got water. I plant lettuce last. Because if you know what you're doing with that oil, you rub that kale, you can turn that thing into some lettuce. You got to know how to cook, though. We cooks around, yeah. That's then you come down, the south, you're going to taste, you're going to have that gravy on you. You understand me?
Being the size and difference between you and me, how many tomatoes do I have to eat to get the proper dosage versus how many tomatoes that you have to eat? And if you eat too many, do you get a overdose? If you eat too less, like we had in the cattle industry with aromycin, we weren't dosing our...
Dude, you sound stupid. I'm sorry. I can't take this. You sound silly right now, brother. Like, these people are like totally silly. Like, they're literally trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. And they've been doing this to us since our youth. You do not spell knife with a K. You're never going to make me believe that. I don't care if I learned it and I have to spell it like that now. You are not going to ever make me believe you spell knife with a K. I don't care what the French are doing. I don't care what they're doing in Sweden. I don't care what they're doing in Germany. You don't spell knife with a K. When you try to teach your children to read, they're automatically, from the way the Most High taught them to read, trying to read the word from right to left, how we're born, from reading the Hebrew. We have to learn how to make sense of things that don't make sense. They tell you about the vowels, and then some of the vowels make a total different sound. I thought you said the A only makes, you know, A, and E, but why is it sounding like this now? Are you kidding me? And now you have to tell your children, well, on this one, you got to say it like this. Total nonsense. They're literally psychologically done this to us. It forces us to believe things that don't make sense. And I'm not talking about things of the unseen world that make sense from the Most High. I'm talking about they're making us believe things that are just not true. You don't spell knife with a K. I'm sorry. Our God is not like that. That's why all the Hebrew, even if you was rhyming in Hebrew, everything rhyme. Everything rhymes. So when people try to sing the Psalms and all that, that thing never rhyme. They just, it's beautiful, but they be trying to sing the Psalms and not one thing rhyme. But if you sing it in the Hebrew, look how perfect our God is. It's going to automatically rhyme. You know, because when you do music, you be waiting on that word to rhyme. You be like, when that thing don't rhyme, you sound like Freeway. And Freeway is a good rapper, but he rhymes every other bar. You supposed to be rhyming at the end of this bar and the end of this bar. He'll rhyme at he'll say a word at this bar, don't rhyme the next bar, and then rhyme in the third bar. I'm like, Lord have mercy. What is that? Where they do that at? You waiting on a I'm like, wait, what? That ain't it. I'm sorry. That ain't it. I don't care how real you think you are, that ain't it. So this is what they've taught us. These people are trying to make sense out of something that does not make sense. They had us believing Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory, like the little orange Oompa Loompas. I always wondered about them Oompa Loompas. Them Oompa Loompas was straight slaves, they say. Coming from Africa. I said, Lord have mercy. Everything here is confusion and it's a lie. That's why the Bible had to say, liars shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Listen to this liar right here. This dude is silly, man.
Properly, and the horn flies were developing an immunity to it. If we don't have the proper...
They say he trying to be different. When you try too hard to be different and too hard to be cool, your rhymes start to sound whack. Every dude's coming out trying to rap like he's the realest. Just rap. It's okay.
Of a vaccine, it could lead to the efficacy of that drug not work anymore.
You recognize?
Well, I'd like to think I'm more immune to horn flies than you are, but I say that jokingly.
No,
but right now, my question is just, is there a need for this? I understand there's a concern, and yeah, people should know if there's a vaccine in food. But if we can't even sell food with vaccines in it in the state of Tennessee right now, then is this legislation necessary, is my question.
Well, if you have a child that is allergic to a certain vaccine and it's not disclosed...
I can't do it. I can't listen to this. I can't, I'm not gonna lie to you. You wanna hit this dude with the fly swatter. Like, dude, get up out of here. Before we get at you with a slingshot somewhere, like, nah. Listen. And then they tell the children in school, you can't start a sentence with the word and. But you like, every time I go to church and my mom tells me to read the Bible, God's starting the sentences with the word and. And in the beginning. So now it's all confusing for the child. The poor child, we just grow up like, I don't know which way to go. The whole Bible starting the sentences with and. And then you go to school, you like, am I supposed to believe in my God? Am I supposed to believe in my teacher? Let me tell you, I'm going to believe in my God. Because Hebrew was simple, straight to the point. This stuff got you all over the place, trying to make you sound deep when you're very shallow. And it's like we're doing it just to sound smart, but don't know anything. Most of the people who have a degree, and I had to ask this in my church the other day. I said, how many people are working a job that they got a degree from? Only a few people raise their hand. I would love to know on here, everyone who went to college and all of the degrees we have, who's working a job from that and totally successful. It would only be probably less than 10%. Maybe 2 to 5%. That's deep. But you're going to tell people, oh yeah, I graduated from this and I did this and I did that, so you can sound smart. It's not helping you. You went into debt. Let me tell you, if you send somebody to college these days and they're going to go into debt, it would be nice that they actually got the money for what they went to school for. We're getting played around here. You got these farmers and stuff in the country where I live, rich. You think you driving by seeing some tractors and they don't got no money. Ask how much that tractor costs. Ask how much the wheel on the tractor costs. The wheel is $1,000. The big wheel on the tractor is $1,000 to replace. Ask how much a little part on the tractor costs. $500. Start asking how much some of those things in the country cost, and you'll be shocked. You got you a nice Cadillac Escalade. Ask how much it costs for a dually truck. A dually truck, the ones with the 4 wheels that actually pulls big RVs and other 18-wheelers and all that. See, we thinking about everything flashy. Let me tell you, people ain't showing off with that guy. We just watching dually trucks pass by as if, oh, that's whack. Let me tell you, price them out. And we think we're living in some suburban areas, which is all good, of land we don't own. When they should have told you, buy the land first and then build on it. Now you own the land and then you own the house. You can start your own suburban neighborhood if you want to. Huh? And then people are embarrassed to live in barndominiums because they feel like they don't have them a suburban house when you can have the same type of house inside a barndominium and people don't know, what that thing is on the outside, but you living like a king or queen on the inside. You can pay 50 to 75% less than that house and still get the value. Yeah, the tractors don't lose value. The barndominiums keep the same value as your HOA house and that land. And then you get you a pond. You get somebody to come on that thing and dig you a pond. Be like, listen, you can take the dirt and just dig me a pond because it costs $15,000 to $100,000 to dig a pond. Now your property value have went up. Y'all got to start thinking outside of the box. And you're paying for something like that less than what they charge for apartments now. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth, guys. Let me tell you, about time you bought you some land and bought you a little house, don't got to be the best big house right away. You're paying less than an apartment complex now than you will pay for an apartment. So y'all thinking you have to stay in an apartment, but what if you have your credit right, you save your little money, your little income tax for your down payment, and now you got you a little land. Everybody don't have to have 10 acres, but you would actually pay either the same price for that apartment or a little less. So now you're actually saving money. You got money to put up to do different things on your property. I'm trying to tell you the truth. I'm not even joking. You getting played out here. These people are staying from these apartments. They charging $2,000, $2,500, $1,500. Well, let me tell you, they was charging that 16 years ago when I stayed in an apartment. They charging that and more. You paying that for an apartment when you can actually be paying a mortgage on your land until you can pay it off. And then if you can't, hey, you just sell that thing. But you have what you need and you're not at the behest of these people. Everything don't happen tomorrow. You got to be willing to sacrifice to survive and make it through this time. Use your brain that God gave you. Seek the wisdom from people who are wiser than you. Are you worried about they being wise to you? You too embarrassed about that? Everyone's going to be wiser than us on some levels. We all learn from one another. They're teaching us to try to learn all of this information at one time, but we're humans. We will forget. A lot of us are forgetting now because they have spell corrector and stuff when we're typing on the text. And you'll type in something, and then that thing will auto-correct, and it's like, what's that? And now you're not even learning how to, you don't remember how to spell basic words that you used to know in school because of this AI coming in. So we have to wake up. Even the people in the truth, you got to wake up. If you don't wake up, you're gonna be like this brother here. No offense. I pray my brother get it right, but I'm gonna tell you right now. This ain't it. Make sure you save. All I'm gonna tell you, make sure you save your water as well than your food, because you got people out there telling you don't drink water. And I know some of y'all know where I'm going, but I'm just telling y'all. You got people telling you don't drink water. I told y'all this a long time ago, and I think y'all thought I was joking. A bunch of Hebrews be lying on the low. I watch them all on Facebook, lying. And they be watching these side people when the Bible says, don't get tossed to and fro to every wind of doctrine. And then somebody will say something that sounds deep, but it be totally off. And they be like, oh, I didn't know. I thought that. Hey, you thought wrong. Follow your God. They tell you that you shouldn't do something when your God telling you you should. And I'm going to put this out there for olive oil. You can fry in olive oil. Don't let nobody lie to you. I lived in Europe. They don't want us to know that. You can fry in the one that they make for frying, and you can fry in the one that has a better smell than the one that you actually would mostly use for salad because it has a better scent. But you can fry in both of them. They both have high heats. Ghee butter, tallow, beef tallow. You can fry in all of these things. You don't want the oils that come from seeds. But you want healthy fats in your body. You see? Olive oil, coconut oil. You want these oils. What I find in my house? Olive oil. Total healthy. One of the most healthiest oils on earth with polyphenols that reach the blood-brain barrier. They don't want you to know that. When I went over there, all they used is olive oil. In Europe. G is very expensive though. So you either learn how to make it, you learn how to make your tallow. These things are expensive. Excuse me. Okay? Your coconut oil. These are healthy oils for you. If you buy the cheap oils, you're going to pay for it. Your body is going to pay for it. You will now have high cholesterol. The body produces cholesterol. If you don't have cholesterol, you die. So when you see some oil that says no cholesterol, I'm like, man, I ain't eating that garbage. You want to buy olive oil that comes from one country. If it says more than one country, it's not real olive oil. Don't anoint your house with it. Don't anoint anybody with it. It's trash. I'm going to tell you right now. It's mixed with canola and soy oil. I know this for a fact. They're coming out with crypto and blockchain to where you can actually identify exactly where this stuff comes from. It's totally tracked. The mark of the beast is coming. It's totally tracked to show you where it's coming from. If your honey is coming from multiple countries, it's bad. If your olive oil is coming from multiple countries, go in your cupboard right now, everybody, get your olive oil. You ain't got to anoint it yet. Go on the back. If that thing if it's coming from 4 countries, it's okay. I'm just teaching you. And I'm not saying I'm better than you. I was doing the same thing like you about 6 months ago. I'm thinking this thing said organic. I'm like, hold up, this thing say 4 countries. Italy, Sicily, Germany. I'm like, oh no. So I had to learn. I went to Sam's. Sam's didn't have no real olive oil at all. My local HEB, Howard E. Butts store. That's the name of the store that we go to here. I love HEB. It had 3 real olive oils. The rest were not real. And even though it said organic on it, guys, everything that's organic is not real or it's not true. Some of it is marketing. You must know the difference. A lot of us ain't been getting anointed. You wonder why demons still come in that house. You was anointing that house with soybean oil and canola oil. They done tricked us on everything. They clarifying the wine with pork. You have to look up which wines are not clarified with pork. And I'm not telling you not to drink it because you got grace if you didn't know. But I'm like, I'm making my own stuff then. I'm good. I don't even drink their stuff no more. I make my own stuff. Period. Unless I know the brand of that, I'm not drinking it. Because you're getting parasites in a lot of this stuff. So I'm trying to tell you why you need to grow your own food. Black people are not taught also to deworm. It taught me a lot during COVID that we were not taught to. Yeah, we talked about parasites a lot and things like that. We talked about them, but we are not deworming on the regular. So a lot of your ailments, you're probably thinking of this, and it might be that. I'm just telling you, I can't put everything out there on this platform. You know, me and Ramar, we talk a lot, and some of the other elders, but I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of things is not what you think they are. Most of them is what we're talking about right now. I'm going to just tell you right now. And sometimes you are using some of the things you think work, and they don't work as good as other things. So you have to find out what actually works. Okay? I can't say it on here. Elder had already put it out on the Patreon. He already put it out. I'm going to just say at the end of it, it's called Mectin. I can't tell you the rest. But you have to get the right one that actually works. Elder Ben put this out on Patreon long ago. You need to be deworming at least 1 to 3 every month. Okay? I'm just telling y'all the truth. Like black people and even Gentiles, but Israelites start doing it because you're paying all of these money to these people. I can't say their names for operation, this and that. And come to find out, it's just a little worm in you. Many, though. Not one. Many. So we're being played. We have to prepare because we're still getting played. You have yogurt in the store. Yeah, you can eat it. It's lawful, but it's not what they're telling you. So start learning how to make your own probiotic bacteria foods. Sauerkraut, kefir, yogurt for your gut. Your gut is like the most important part of your body. Where the worms want to be. I'm going to just say that. Okay? Yeah, somebody put it in the chat already. I can't say it. I don't want to say it on here. But you have to get the right one. No, I don't have I don't have the supplements for that, and neither do I really want to talk about that part on here. Some of the supplements I have do these things, but you need a big cleanser plus those. Like I have probiotics that I still take. I have, let me see here. This is a really good one. Powerful for the stomach there. Powerful. I can't say what they do. You got that. You got that. They have enzymes in them. Definitely this one. Definitely that one. Has papain and what's the other one? Bromelain. Powerful, especially if you take them on an empty stomach. How do you do it? Well, like I said, Elder said it on one of his shows, but the only thing I can say in the end is Mectin. That's all I can say. I can't say anything else. You gotta do your research. I can't say the full thing on here. The beginning of it starts with an I. Okay? So, all right. I'm going to leave it there with that, though. But I want to show you something that because I digressed for a second. I actually fell off. But I want to show you something here. Beware of this gentleman here. He's not, I don't know if he's a gentleman or not, but beware of this man. I don't want people being tossed to and fro of everyone. I have nothing against this person, but I think he's asleep instead of awakened. And that's just no disrespect, because he was once a Hebrew, but now he sounds like Chingy turning an Israelite into some astronomical. No, it just sounds silly. So be careful about this, because I want you guys to know, listen to your God. This brother is telling men how to exercise their man parts and all that. I'm like, nah, we ain't into all that. We good here. We good. All right. He got Cali muscle on one. I'm like, Father have mercy. The sister looking like, is he serious? I hope that's how she looking at least. Hold up, you got people who's actually liking this, who's Israelites. Lord have mercy. Father have mercy. I'm not gonna say their names, but this is, oh, Father have mercy.
Four-legged beasts drink water. Do you know in order to drink water scientifically, you will have to stand on all fours, you have to elongate your neck, and you have to lap the water with your tongue? Your tongue is not even long enough, and it don't have the type of muscles that other mammals have to even lap that water in. In order for you to drink water, you got to close your hands together, do this, you got to do everything but what you can do naturally with it to even drink this water. You getting water in cups and glasses. You weren't born with cups, glasses, and bowls, and none of that other shit. These are utensils that you make.
Brother, that's a demon talking. As a matter of fact, I see a young boy in the background doing this. Let me tell you, this dude's worshiping a whole nother God. He's not a Hebrew anymore. So you simple Hebrews out there, I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you one time and one time only. If you send me a video like this, I'm going to ask you, what elder are you under? And we're going to have a talk. No, I'm being very, very, very serious. I'm not even joking. It's totally annoying to see that you've been taught the Hebrew Academy. You're taught all of the lessons, and you still fall aside every time a person tells you something about health that your God told you, you understand that's good for you. You instead of you just being a vegan because your God said you're gonna be a vegan, you have to make a doctrine about it, and you have to let the world know instead of it just being for you. Let it be for you. Oh, we don't want to kill the animals. You kill animals to make farms. The snakes have to die, the rats, the mice, because they have to spray the fields that you eat. Because a lot of vegans don't even know how to grow food. What happens when the grocery store dies? All the vegans, let me tell you, that barbecue will be smelling good for you. And I'm talking about the ones who tries to make a doctrine and make everyone do what they do. It's for you. I'm not forcing my meat on you. I eat what you eat and what I eat. Praise the Most High for both of them. But we can't. This dude talking about don't drink water, brother. Are you kidding me? Water flushes your body when it needs a flush. You know how many fruits you have to eat to flush your body? Yeah, it's electrolytes in fruit. It's sugars in fruit, and you can actually survive off of them. But you're not gonna. What you gonna tell Moses when the Most High told him split the rock and water came out for the people? Huh? What you gonna tell Christ when he asked the Samaritan woman for water? What you gonna tell all the prophets or our forefathers who asked for water? I don't want to see nothing this dude has to show. And some of you are guilty of watching this garbage, and it's okay. You should feel bad about it. You should, because you should know scoffers. You should know deceivers by now. You trying to be deep. Everyone's trying to be deep in the herbs. Everyone, stop it. You just learned and got on it. Practice. Go get you a degree in it or something, a certification, and really learn it. Stop sharing all of this stuff, and you're going to deceive and make one of the people from the church fall off from this stuff. Seriously, guys. This is silly right here. And I don't care if you don't like me about it. I can care less. I'm going to tell this so you're not, leading away God's flock. If you don't want to drink water, don't drink it. But this is false doctrine right here. And we're not going to have some dude in the back, you understand, throwing, with his legs crossed like Buddha somewhere. totally off. I don't care how deep it sounds, how much words you can put together. The Bible says, stay away from this nonsense, science falsely so-called. This dude used to be a Hebrew, and now he's preaching science. Guys, the animals that you talk about that eat grass and stuff like that, they were made to be big even though they eat grass. You're thinking, well, the gorilla is big. He eats just fruit. You've never gotten that big when you eat fruit. That's not your molecular makeup. That's not your DNA makeup. You can eat all the bananas you want. You won't turn into a monkey. You can eat all of the grass and herbs you want. You will not be as strong as a gorilla. You will not be as strong as a grizzly, a vegan grizzly. You will not. That's not your genetic makeup. So when you hear people saying, well, they eat only this and they're huge and they're big, you stay bony and scrawny. And if that's what you want to do, it's okay. That doesn't mean it's bad. But you can't tell people because you're not growing that big from that. That's just a total lie. They were made to be that big and do that. You have, they used to show the dinosaurs. They were huge dinosaurs and they didn't even eat meat. But you try that and you've never gotten that big. You haven't figured out that's not your genetic makeup? And they're going around broadcasting this stuff to the world, making total seminars, flying on private jets. Yeah, you see the gorilla, he eats grass, and everybody in there haven't eaten meat and is less than 100 pounds. I love vegetables. I love them. I mean, I eat them every day. They're very good for us. And guess what? The lion diet is good for you too. It's basically a ketogenesis diet, but it's not for everybody. I don't think you should only eat that and not eat vegetables that God said that will heal you. But I understand the protein and what it does for the body and the minerals and vitamins that's in the steak. I understand it. But what I'm saying is all things are not for all men, as the scripture says. So don't get caught up listening to people like this, or you might fall off and be worshiping the stars involuntarily.
For you can assimilate other creatures, for you can start drinking these things, just like you make.
This dude can barely speak English. For you can do this, for you can do that. Are you kidding me? And I'm not making fun of the brother, but hey, if you're gonna speak like a scientist, you're gonna have to speak correct English of the oppressor, since you talk about the oppressor. For you can do this, for you can do that. It's supposed to be so that you can do this. Are you guys kidding me here? Now, because I think my brother got great intelligence and that he could have studied and used this for the Most High. I really do, because he used to be a Hebrew. I don't know what happened. But I pray that my brother comes back to the right side. I do. But he's misleading our people, and I have to put it out there. I'm not going to disrespect his character, but his knowledge is not knowledge. He's ever learning, but he's not coming to the knowledge of the truth. He's forever learning and studying, but he's philosophizing.
And you make forks because you don't have claws like a carnivore, and you make these knives and these forks, but you can claw and rip and tear into flesh, showing you that you were not created to eat flesh. Same thing when it comes to water that comes out of wells and oceans and lakes. You were not made to drink that. If you was, then your neck and your digestive tract would be made a certain way. Your tongue would be elongated a certain way for it can lap and get that water in. Guess what? You ain't got to do that when you're eating your water. See, you're supposed to eat water. You're supposed to chew water.
Whoa. You are supposed to eat water and chew water. I've never. What scripture is that?
Not supposed to drink water. Human beings is not a drinking faculty, y'all. If you do not drink water.
Let me tell you right now. I feel sorry for some of you out there who keep getting tossed to and fro from simplicity like this. I pray for you. I know you want to be healthy, but God made the perfect diet for you. Cottage cheese. Hey, you have to season that thing and flavor it, but it's healthy for you. I don't eat cottage cheese. I get my stuff from other things. Yogurt and kefir and things like that. But everything's not for everyone. But the diet that God made is very good. And most of it helps the gut and the microbiome and the bacteria in the gut, which is where you deal with most of the parasites, which is where you deal with most of the sicknesses. This is a fact. Any like doctor who's a natural type of doctor, they're gonna start in the gut. Period. All right. So I'm just putting that out there, show you why we seen what they're trying to do to the tomatoes, what they're trying to do to the lettuce. You don't think it's time for you guys to start growing your own food? So I'm just saying. He's trying to use the Judges 7:4 when the Bible speaks about them lapping the water. Well, the Most High took those who were drinking water with their hands, and not those who lapped like a dog. But I don't know how he's like misconstruing the scriptures with that. These guys were better fit for war than the guys who just drunk like a dog. So if he's taking that and misconstruing that, I'm like, brother, yeah. But I'm gonna leave it there on it. I really do pray that my brother comes to the truth. But I'm a man just like him. He don't have to agree with me, just like I definitely don't have to agree with that. You guys have been tricked with low-level Satanists like him and Dr. Sebi. And Dr. Sebi rests his soul, because he that doesn't mean that they don't mean well for their people. But it's still low-level Satanism, whether it's their intentions or not. It's involuntarily worshiping of angels. That's exactly what it is. Anything opposite of this doctrine of God, of Christ, it's Satanism. That's what it is. Even atheists are Satanists and don't even know it. They don't know it. So I'm not saying that they didn't mean well, but you got to understand something. Left eye was on the other side too. You don't think her name was Left Eye for just for any reason? Oh, the industry was trying to. Let me tell you guys something. I get it. I understand. I'm not saying everyone is sold their soul, but I'm telling you that just because people don't sell their soul, you don't understand what gods they worship. She was doing the same stuff with her hands, folding her legs. Let me tell you. And he was, unfortunately, smoking the devil's plant, the green, with chicks in the bed and telling you can't eat garlic. I'm like, the Bible says to eat garlic. You can't eat this and you can't eat that. That's a this, that's a that. That's a hybrid. Let me tell you, all hybrids are not bad. How you think you get a tangerine or you can mix citrus with citrus? That's actually lawful. You can't mix different seeds with different seeds. You can't mix different cattle with different cattle. You have people who just mix things up. Okay? People want to follow the law so bad, not knowing you're in captivity. You're not living in the land of Israel. Okay? So just be careful and don't be overzealous, because Israel has a zeal for the Most High, but they don't have a zeal according to knowledge. All right? So we didn't went we didn't went all over the place for a second. We're gonna go just really quick to Luke 21 and 20. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst depart out of it. What does it mean about the mist? Usually the mist are the inner cities. You have to be on the outskirts, because the armies are going to go to the inner cities. And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. Those who are on the outskirts or the countrysides don't go into the cities. That's why we're telling people. The scripture says this already. You don't want to be in the inner cities where people will be starved out, or the military will actually put up gates and all that. You know how they put up gates when you watch the zombie movies? They can put up a gate through a whole intersection, all that, around a whole neighborhood, a suburban neighborhood, and they will not be able to get out. Because all they have to say is, oh, it was this over there, or this person got sick, or that. And then they gate that whole thing and no one else will be able to get out. So if you are stuck in that, you at least want to have you some food where you don't have to leave. If you just happen to get stuck in that, then the Most High got to come get you out of there another type of way. Like you got to go through a portal or something. But we want to pay attention to the signs of the times. The wall that they're building on the border, the army, is not just to keep people out, guys. It's to keep people in. And it's not going to only be on the border. You understand? Places like California, you have to make sure you're saving your food and your water. Know your areas, because California is in all the end of the world movies. All of them. So you have to be wise and see the times. Okay? Some parts of New York and the East Coast, it's in like the Purge. The areas that's like that, you have to know. Maybe I should have a little RV if I got to skedaddle. If I have to run and go somewhere else. We have to start to think of our little exit plans of where we can possibly go for a time. Because the Bible says you flee from one city to the next if you have to. Christ had to do this. When there's trouble over here, Christ he dipped to the next city. Why? Because this is not our home. But we can't just talk about it. We have to be about it. It will feel better if you actually follow what the Bible says instead of just reading it only. Trust me. And a person can only do their best. You should feel good only doing your best. Don't feel bad if you can't do what the next person does. The Most High is going to carry you through because you are doing your best. He's going to make sure you're good because you did give everything you had. Maybe you will never get what this person has, but don't ever base your mindset off of what a person has. You do your best. You understand what I'm saying? And then the Most High will do the rest. I can guarantee that. That's the scriptures. All right. Let me see here. So, verse 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. These things have to be fulfilled. So he's given us a chance to be on the outskirts of some of these places. He said, if you're in the countries, don't go back to the city. You're not going to be able to go back to the grocery stores. In the country towns, there's only like one little country grocery store. And that's going and the little black people that stay in that area and white people, they're going to take all the tissue and they're going to be fighting for everything in there too. So we have to watch the lessons and pay attention to the elders, to pay attention to the times. Like, listen, we're getting closer to the time. You might want to do this and do that, but do it before that too. Saving your things. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. So 70 AD all over again will be in the inner cities. It's shit. When I was living in Egypt, we were on the outskirts to a certain degree, and I remember the tanks came through on the outskirts of the places, and they really didn't do much. They seen that, hey, this is a good neighborhood. People don't, long as the neighborhood was in order, the tanks didn't do nothing. I literally saw this from the top of my 5th floor balcony. Now, you had places where this was going on in Cairo, like it was specifically going on there. Everyone else wanted to have a part in it as if they're, everyone else wanted to have a part in it and they didn't actually have to. But when you're where the action is going on, wherever the action is going on, you don't want to be there. Okay? Where the carcass is, the eagles shall be gathered. So wherever the action is, Esau will be there. That eagle will be there. Where he's going to be preying upon the prey. Okay? Verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So that happened in 70 AD. But they use the same playing book. So it's prophesied that the Most High would only take a remnant from our people. So they're going to use the same playing book as we're seeing it already now. But only that remnant who's paying attention and listening, like those who fled into Africa, into the wilderness, will possibly make it. All right? So we must prepare the best that we can. Yeah, maybe the message may come out a little strong for those, because some people need to hear it strong. Some people won't listen sometime unless it's strong. I'm gonna tell you how our people are. We go street preaching. If you just go out there talking, the people won't listen. You can have the best heart and mind in the world, and you can mean well. But if you go out there, as the scripture says, make your face hard. Don't be cocky. Don't belittle. Don't condescend. But if you let them know through the confidence of the Holy Spirit in Christ that you mean business, you're putting your life on the line for this, for them, and trying to wake your people up, they actually listens. I know when I step on that stage on the street preaching, everybody's about to stop. People, let me tell you, it's about to go down. Any person who understands that, who's a street speaker, they understand that. Like when Elder Rawchaa, that's how a lot of us woke up. It must be experience. I don't know what it is, but you can know the difference. It's different than a person just getting up there because he know a few precepts. It's like, it's all have to be cohesive. You can't get up there just because you study some precepts. You have to really mean well for your people. It must be all cohesive. Okay, you get practice like that, but it's a difference when you know actually how to finish. So take serious what we're saying tonight. Okay, guys? I'm going to show you a little things that we're doing. It's just for my stories on Instagram. I'm just going to show you a few things that we're doing. I'm probably not going to even really have sound on it. Let me see if I can just pull up, just me and my children were out there or whatever the case may be. Doing what we're doing, prepping for our gardens. Obviously we do this every year, but I'm just showing you can do this with your family. You can teach the children like the Japanese were doing. These are things that you can do for your family. All right, let me see what we got here. Let me go to the actual story there, the proper one. I use this page mostly for gym and gardening, but let me see here. Just trying to get straight to the gardening part. Let me see here. All right, fair use. This is just what we're doing. I'm gonna start uploading on my my Lions Homestead page again. So we're getting ready to put a lot of new stuff in the ground today. A lot of new work to do. And I even got a surprise of some starters that I put in here. I mean, some cuttings that I put from trees in here. And I'm going to tell you what I did. I covered the bag. I wetted and I covered the bag. And I knew in spring that I was going to get some sprouts. Well, at least I hoped. And there you go. I covered the whole bag with humidity. Now look at that thing. Woo, boy. You talking about a gardener, huh? These are going to be new trees. You guys can see better today. Look at those worms. Okay? They're all in here. Okay? They're all in here. And the other ones are hiding, but they're all in here. Look at that. That's 2 of them. This is some good dirt. Where there's worms, there's life. Okay? Eating this cow dung right there. Let's see. Let's see if we can find some more for y'all. You think them putting... So we're in our shade house. I got this bed prepared. We're in one of the shade houses. The wind was blowing like crazy. I know the devil mad. I got some good compost that I'm using this year. I have compost already in my beds, but one of the local nurseries here called Back to Eden, not Back to Eden, Enchanted Forest, composted cotton burrs. So I'm just mixing a little bit of this in already with what I have in my own chicken coop. Okay, this is something that my tree guy gave me, full of worms, adding it on top. You just want to build a nice soil. We're going to eventually put, my bananas are coming back up. We're going to eventually put some, you know, some biochar up in that thing. I'm making myself. Okay. I got all my nephew, my daughters, everybody working. Okay. So all of that good stuff in there. When I till all of that, that's what it comes looking like. Very nice. Very. So we got him over here. We got Caleb Ariel Malak. Yeah, he shared the name of me and Malak. He is, what you doing here? Can you explain to them what you're doing?
I'm taking out the weeds.
Taking out the weeds. What are we going to do with this next? Do you know?
Put new dirt in it.
All right. We got my daughter, Pepe Lion over here. Everybody working together. You making the walkways? Huh? All right. Very respectful children. So, got this other young man in here. Yeah. Jeremiah. Come on. That's how you get cleaning up our other beds in here where some of our brassicas, Brussels sprouts, and so yeah, you know. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. I have to wake up early in the morning and finish. But that's what we're doing. We're gonna put all of our starter plants in the ground, seedlings, got all type of cucumbers ready to grow up. You have to plant according to your family, and if you have guests, according to your family, and if you have guests, you want to have an over influx, and it's certain plants that does this. It's certain plants that they grow amazingly, and they're gonna bring a lot of bees around, like loofahs. Loofahs, we're gonna give away some free loofah seeds. They bring lots of beneficial wasps and moths and things to pollinate, like bees. They bring bumblebees, just like loofahs itself. It will cover your whole thing. We have so much stuff to plant. I can't even name it all. But we're going to be doing some giveaways of seeds, giveaways of supplements and different things like that, right? Praise the Most High. Y'all love the cartoons. Yes, we're getting ready to drop Jacob and Esau. It's already like 90% finished. So we're getting ready to drop that and count by fives. Yeah, we so it's a lot of work being done. It's a lot of work being done. I know you see. I've been in that sun and I'm tired. So I got to get me some good food. I was going to do some call-ins tonight, but what we're going to do next week, what we'll do, if you guys have any videos or something like that, go ahead and you can email me at elderrawchaa@gmail.com, but a short MP4 video, or just send me a link to, if you have a YouTube channel or a page or your Instagram, and I will show your little garden, and we do some call-ins, and you guys show me what you guys are doing. Show me what you guys are doing. Now we're not going to talk about what you are preparing for, because we don't want to talk about that online. We don't want anyone to know your IP address and what you were preparing for and all that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, do we want to draw wasps? Yeah, wasps are good pollinators. I'll let them pollinate as long as they don't try to make nest in the wrong place. Then I'm fine with them. Okay? They don't really bother me. I've gotten stung by them, but when I get stung by the wasp, I just put some activated charcoal on it, and the burn, it doesn't even burn. I'm talking about even my yellow jacket. I've seen people get stung by yellow jackets, swell up crazy. I swell up more from bees than yellow jackets. Like when I got stung by that bee, I look like the ants. So, you know that movie, The Ants? I look like some off the ants. Crazy. I mean, I think I got stung right here. Look just like the little soldiers off the ants. But but still putting the charcoal, it'll take it down. But for a yellow jacket, I put that on there. The sting burns like fire. But putting the charcoal on it, it doesn't swell me up. So you have to know for yourself. Get you an EpiPen or whatever the case may be, because those pollinators are going to want to come around if you have good stuff in your garden, all right? So anyway, I'm going to leave it here for the night. I hope you guys learned something, how to garden in apartments, how to make sure you're saving your food and your water. We have to come on here every now and then to talk about these things. So next week, we can actually talk about what are you guys growing. Or if you have questions about your garden, next week will be the week that I answer questions about your gardening. Okay? What do you do for your garden? We can share skills with each other. You can come on here and make a comment like, hey, if you tried this, we don't need a bunch of beginner YouTube experts. We don't need some you seen on the channel that you haven't been practicing for years. I don't need that. I've been gardening for years. Okay, I've been and I'm still learning. We will always still learn and share skills. But I've gardened almost a whole farm, patio garden, sprouts. I have experience in all these areas and still learning. We always have to continue to learn. We have to learn what's good for our bodies. Okay, I mean and I'm gonna tell you, I'm learning something that one of the elders told me something about quinoa, that they have something in there that's not good for the gut. That doesn't mean you can't eat it for you, but why am I saying we should plant? Because there's a lot of stuff, even though it's organic stuff, when they put it in the store, it's like they're adding small little things to this stuff to where it's 95% good. And then it's like, yeah, but my gut needs to stay on point. I don't want to kill my bacteria in my gut. So, it's just, you're not going to be able to get rid of everything, but we just have to learn what's best for us. Try your best to get non-GMO. And when I say try your best, you shouldn't buy things that are GMO at all. We probably eat some of the stuff we don't know, but if you know, don't buy. All right? Peace and blessings. Let me go get me a meal. I have a lot of work to do for the rest of the week. Have a beautiful New Year's, and most high willing, we will see all of you beautiful people at the Passover. Your beautiful families, your beautiful children, the elderly. I mean, I can't wait. If it be the Most High's will, all right? We're going to answer questions next week. All right? Shalawam.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book. And the truth will make you free. The Hebrew